past some other shit that's not so drastic.
All right, y'all. Shalom.
Ready? Let's get this cracking, man. Alright, turn this bad boy on. Call up there. He might talk to you.
Yeah. He let me know. Got time for the Bible today?
And we starting off with somebody ignoring the scriptures. That's cool. Because again, see, all the calamities coming to America, it's going to get real inconvenient for you blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, especially you women. See, your enemy about to come down on you with both feet, and you still ignoring the scriptures. And I can show it to you in the Bible, right? But we ain't going to dwell on that. We're going to go ahead and sign in, saying, call halal Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. That's all praises be unto Yahweh. In the name of his son Yahweh Shai, the man that y'all ignorantly call Jesus Christ, right? We are San Antonio Masada. We are back out on the San Antonio Riverwalk with yet another lesson, right? To let blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians know that you are the true chosen of God. You are the people in the scriptures, the hard-headed and stiff-necked people that the Most High God sent prophets onto. And you also the same people who ignore the prophets at best and kill them at worst. Right? Because the way Second Ezra puts it, is the amount of people that's going to be saved is going to be like a wave to a drop. Meaning most of y'all ain't going to make it. Brother, we going to start out today in Baruch 4, 1 through 2. Let's go ahead and get started. Right? And today's lesson is called To the Righteous Israelites, God Has Your Back. Notice I said to you, righteous Israelites. Right? Because a lot of you Israelites are wicked. Wicked as hell. And you're going to die for it. Go ahead and get it.
It's Baruch chapter 4, verse 1.
Check it out.
This is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endures forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou may be illuminated.
Right? That's straight to the point. The Bible tells the Israelites to walk in the presence of the light of the Lord.
That's right.
That light is wisdom. For instance, do y'all know that Christmas is in the Bible? Some of my sisters walking up, did y'all know that? Christmas is in the Bible? Are you supposed to celebrate Christmas according to the Bible, sister? See, again, man. But if I was a white man, I'd have your undivided attention.
See the blatant disrespect that our people have to put up with. Right? We got more batteries. Don't worry about it.
We'll be back.
We be back. You know what I'm saying?
You gonna want that in Jeremiah 10?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, it's probably not for them. The battery's just fine. Most High God said, nah, don't say nothing to them. Let them hard-headed ass sisters walk headlong into their judgment.
A bee shouldn't waste his time convincing the flies that honey's better than shit.
For real. That's a good proverb. We shouldn't be trying to convince a bee that honey, or a fly that honey is better than shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let the fly go back to the dung, which they're accustomed to.
That's right.
And see, most of our people, they're going to celebrate these high holy days coming up. And then they also wonder why they have to attend all these damn funerals. Why they have to bury their loved ones. Their padre and their madre. Their tias and tios. You know what I'm saying? You burying your family because you refuse to keep God's laws. See, and again, we just read, those who keep the laws of God are going to come to life, but such as leave it shall die.
Right.
And see, most of y'all don't understand, death is going to be merciful in the days to come. See, Trump is about to try to deport 353,000 more Haitians. Now, most of you blacks don't understand that they can't tell a Jamaican, a Haitian, and an American Negro apart. The same way they can't tell Mexican and Venezuelans apart. Can't tell the difference. So what should we be doing, brother, in these times? Do you know? Okay, what's his real name? Well, you got time to listen? Are you Hispanic, brother? Or are you too enthralled with that white woman you with? See, again, such as leave it shall die. I know. Good old white Jesus. But that's Cesare Borgia, the mascot of the white man. A pedophile, a homosexual, and he practiced incest with his own sister. It was the son of Alexander, the sixth Pope of Rome, whose real name was Rodrigo Borgia, of the Borgia crime syndicate. See, again, man, we're not going to be out here too much longer because they're trying to criminalize this exact activity. See, once they make your right to free speech illegal, pretty much most of you are destined for prison. Because they're going to comb through your social media. They're about to comb through your history of your internet activities to see if you are one of those rabble-rousers that they put on all these damn watch lists. But see, to you Israelites, the Most High God is in your corner. And we're not going to be out on these corners trying to get our people to hearken unto wisdom. We're going to leave you to your fate. But brother, can you get me Baruch 3 and 14? Because this is just to illustrate that to those who are willing to listen and to hearken unto wisdom, the Most High God, he is near unto them. He hears the cries of the righteous. And he has them in mind when they go through adversity, when they go through calamity, when they go through opposition. The Most High God pleads their cause. Go ahead and get it, brother.
Baruch chapter 3, verse 14. Learn where is wisdom, where is strength, where is understanding, that thou may know also where is length of days and life, where is the light of the eyes and peace.
So we're out here to inform our people where wisdom is, where true strength is, where their Messiah is. Because most of y'all say you believe in Jesus Christ. But if we tell you that's not his name, you should be asking, well, what's his real name? And prove it. Well, close. There are no O's or U's in Paleo-Hebrew. And no J's. See, again, you should stop and ask, well, what's his real name? See, again, the Most High God is manifesting these things for the camera so you can see just how many people do not want the truth of the scriptures.
Right.
But they'll say they're a soldier for Christ all day, not understanding that's not his name, and Christ didn't come for everybody.
Right.
But brother, can you get me Isaiah 48 and 10? Because the Most High God chose a very distinctive group, not only to hold near unto himself as a chosen people, but to suffer affliction as his chosen people. Go ahead and get it, brother. Yeah.
It's Isaiah chapter 48, verse 10.
Check it out.
Behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction.
Now, can you go up to verse 1? We're going to see who he's talking to. Let me see. Oh, yeah, go ahead and get it.
Isaiah 48, verse 1. Hear ye this, O house of Jacob, which are called by the name of Israel, and are come forth out of the waters of Judah, which swear by the name of the Lord, and make mention of the God of Israel, but not in truth, nor in righteousness.
So Isaiah 48 and 10 is directed at the house of Israel.
Somebody just had a bad day.
Man, what happened?
Did I hit somebody?
Oh, shit. Hold up.
Stone collar. Yeah. Hey, man, they out.
Test. See, again, man, judgment. It's not personal, man. That's why we out here to let blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians know. That could be you, man. That could have been you getting hit by that car. I'm going to tell you, man, it's hard out here right now. So if you get a financial setback like that and you ain't got insurance, boy, you might end up on the street. But see, we know the Most High God going to keep the feet of his saints. He going to keep the feet of the righteous who hold true and endure all the afflictions of this world and keep his laws. Get that Isaiah 48:10 one more time.
It's Isaiah chapter 48, verse 10. Behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction.
And we know that this is talking to the house of Judah. But we also know that that's just the southern kingdom. That message is to the house of Israel. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You are the Israelites in this hemisphere of the world. But we are scattered to all nations and to all lands. So we go by many names. I learned in China, they called their slaves not just the Kunlun, but the Shang-Chi. S-H-E-N-G-S-H-I. Shang-Chi. Also the Zhang-Chi. Because they don't just call you one thing, they always change it up. Right? And you know that term newbie that everybody was saying in 2000, about 2000 on? A newbie?
Oh, yeah.
That's what you call a slave in China, a male slave. The N-U-B-I, the newbie. See, most of the time we say these words, we don't understand. They have real meanings. See, your enemy will have you calling yourself all types of shit. He'll have you calling yourself black, nigga, newbie. Not even understanding that he know what that shit means. He knows what those proverbs and bywords mean. You might not. But see, the way he looks at it, that's a personal problem. You being destroyed, that's on you. And that gives him room to exploit your people. Again, that's why we are sent out to these highways and byways to remind our people to wake up to their heritage and return unto the Most High. But brother, can you get me Isaiah 46 and 3 through 5? Because although the Most High God chose the Israelites to endure affliction, he didn't just send us out to be devoured by the nations without him being with us. Go ahead and get it.
Not for real. Down
It's Isaiah chapter 46, verse 3. Hearken unto me, O house of Jacob, and all the remnant of the house of Israel, which are born of me from the belly, which are carried from the womb, and even to your old age I am he, and even to hoar hairs will I carry you. I have made, and I will bear, even I will carry, and will deliver you. To whom will you liken me, and make me equal, and compare me, that we may be like?
So the Most High God said to your hoary hairs, meaning your hairs turn gray. From the time we were delivered out of the womb until your hairs turn gray, the Most High God has been with his people, not with no filthy crackers. See, they don't understand. We didn't go into slavery by ourselves. Our God was with us.
Right.
And see, if y'all would read Deuteronomy 28, y'all would understand how you were able to take us into bondage. Because you show as hell didn't do it by strength or intelligence. Because you showed up here with your hat in your hand going, please help. Anything helps. Like you see them homeless folk when y'all drive into the city and y'all ignore them. That's what y'all said when y'all first came to America. Anything would help. And our people went out of their way to make sure y'all survived the winter. Y'all were able to master farming. Hell, we even gave you land to live on when you didn't deserve it. And you requited all that goodwill with betrayal. Straight savagery. And then had the audaciousness to name the very people that they betrayed savages.
Right.
You cannot make this shit up. It's literally the epitome of irony and an oxymoron. They name the people all the negative things that they are. See, again, that's why we have to remind them there was a witness that y'all couldn't see, and it was the Most High. And he bore witness to all the cruelty. He bore witness to all the depravity. And your judgment is not. See, and y'all might be able to walk around here and say, them just some angry niggas on the corner. But how about them people in Washington and Oregon right now? Them floods that are happening out there are damn near biblical. Who do you think is doing all that? Most High God is doing all that. Read Nahum 1. Read Isaiah 28. As a matter of fact, get that for me in Isaiah 28. Thou shalt be visited with thunder and earthquake. Right? The Most High God is visiting these nations. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse.
Got it?
Thou shalt be visited.
Is it 28 or 29?
Yes, 29. It's one.
29 and 6.
It's Isaiah chapter 29, verse 6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire.
See, we're trying to let blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians know that your God is here defending you and pleading your cause. That's why all these floods are happening. That's why all this solar activity is reaching a maximum. See, they don't tell you about all these M-class and X-class solar flares that fire off at the Earth, which cause all types of weather abnormalities and earthquakes.
Right.
And not to mention, they don't tell you about sun sickness that people get from those solar storms. See, they might not talk about it, but these white folks sure do feel it.
Right.
See, you blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, you've been ignorant in too many matters for far too long, so you don't understand that your God is fighting for you. See, to my Hispanic sister and brother, y'all are Israelites. Keep God's laws. See, it's easy to ignore it, but it's hard when I show up and they throw you in one of them cages.
Right.
See, again, it's only happening because you refuse to hearken unto wisdom. And plus, what is that, mejorando de la raza? Improving your race? See, we understand y'all coons too. Y'all trying to white yourselves out because you've been indoctrinated to want to be like your oppressor. So I'm not surprised when y'all walk across us and you pretend like you Ray Charles and you don't see us. If you black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, just know you're an Israelite. Keep God's commandments. See, and again, we're out here to tell you that y'all the nobility and aristocracy of the planet. But yet, we're the ones you're ashamed of. But when the white man says, get your ass to work, you proud of that. See, that's why we have to remind our people, your God sees your coonery. Give me Jeremiah 48 and 10. See, the Most High God doesn't appreciate cowards of his people who are too afraid to be proud of their own God and their own heritage. Go ahead and get it.
Jeremiah chapter 48, verse 10. Cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully, and cursed be he that keepeth back his sword from blood.
So for you Israelites who are too afraid of your enemies to stand up for your people, to speak the righteous judgment that is coming to your enemies, because your enemies are going into slavery. So-called white man, so-called Asian man, whether you be Japanese, Chinese, Silk Road slave trade, look it up. I know most of y'all ain't read a book since you got out of high school. Look it up. Arab man, the Hamite in Africa, because the so-called African American is not African.
Right.
Look up the sub-Saharan slave trade. See, most of our people, they're not familiar with all the affliction that their ancestors have gone through. Hence why they feel comfortable in a land where they're held captive. That's why the Bible has to pose the question rhetorically. Is Jacob a homeborn servant? Is Jacob a homeborn slave?
Right.
I'll answer that question. Yep. Most of you hop at the chance to be a slave to your oppressor. Because what else can you give him? You've given him hundreds of years of free labor. You hold up his empire. You cook his food. You raise his children. You give him your culture. You allow him to masquerade as you. How many times you see these white folks walking around talking about, oh, I'm Mexican, knowing they're Spaniards. Trying to put on native headdresses, knowing they a damn crack. You see it all the time. And our people don't say shit. Because we love these people so much, we'll give them even our firstborn.
We were made to serve, but just the Most High, but instead of serving him, we serve the damn devil.
Give me the last verse in Leviticus 25. We're about to get back on the lesson. But Brother Armand brought up a really good point. We are made to serve, but we were made to serve the Most High. We are his servants. Let's prove that.
Leviticus chapter 25, verse 55. For unto me the children of Israel are servants. They are my servants whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God.
Ain't even no room for misinterpreting that. The Israelites are God's servants. So where do you get off trying to give your servitude to someone else? Yeah, a lesser vessel than you as an Israelite. That would be like Michael Jordan sitting on the bench for Pee Wee League in basketball. And I'm talking about prime Jordan, not when he went to play for the damn Washington Wizards. He handing out fresh towels and water to the little kids instead of being Michael Jordan. Instead of LeBron James being LeBron James playing basketball at his prime, he wants to go play for a high school team. See, we would understand that that's a waste of talent and potential. But yet, we can sign ourselves over to our enemies all the time. We give away our talent and our work. And we don't even complain. I mean, it's really just reality at this point. But that's why the Most High God is sending his prophets to these streets to wake you up and to let you know that judgment is coming to the earth. And you willing servants, you sycophants who follow after the white man, nuzzling his nuts every step of the way, your ass gonna get put to death. But, brother, can you get me Isaiah 43 and 10 through 15? Wait, we just read that, dude.
Nah, we didn't go to 15.
Cool, let's get that. All right, go ahead.
So Isaiah chapter 43, verse 10. Ye are my witnesses, saith the Lord, and my servant, whom I have chosen, that ye may know and believe me, and understand that I am he. Before me there was no God formed, neither shall there be after me. I, even I, am the Lord, and beside me there is no Savior. I have declared and have saved. I have showed when there was no strange God among you. Therefore ye are my witnesses, saith the Lord, that I am God. Ye, before the day was I. Yea, before the day was I am he, and there is none that can deliver out of my hand. I will work, and who shall let it?
So this is just Isaiah speaking, thus saith the Lord. And the Most High God is saying, I run this shit. I've been here since the very beginning. I chose you as my people, and I've always been here with you. And aside from the Most High God, Yahweh is his name, there is no other God. See, you would assume with all the things going on in America, blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians would really want to hear this. You would, especially my Native Hispanic brothers, I assumed y'all would really want to hear your God and the message of salvation that is for you. The message that is right here in the Bible where God says that there's no other way out of oppression except for me. Instead, hey, let's go a different way and not walk by them brothers. Let's pretend like we don't see him. Hey, let's pretend like we don't waste our time every Sunday sitting in a church, dancing, singing, and giving away money, and then we do everything God told us not to do. Let's pretend. See, y'all don't understand. This ain't a popularity contest, and there are no merit badges for how many people we get to listen to us. We couldn't care less if none of you listen. We only care that the message goes out so that you have no excuse. And most of you, you have walked by brothers like us again and again and again. I'd advise you read Ezekiel 9 when you get home, where God lets it be known, whether you be a man, a woman, adult, or a child, it don't matter. If you don't have the mark of exemption for being counted amongst the righteous, you will be smited. In other words, put to death. See, and I know some people go, hiya, L. You real mean, like, you treat people with disdain a lot of times. But you know what? I have disdain for people who would so flagrantly and willingly turn their shoulder to the word of God. Turn away from the only power that has kept you going for centuries. I have animosity toward people like that. But the reality is, most blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, you turn your back on all your help. Example, most of you black folks, you don't even understand the Hispanic and Native Indian man are your allies. If you look back through American history, they called all three groups, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we were all called Negro or black. The only reason why they separated us is because the white man started to understand that he couldn't suppress all these slave rebellions. See, in slavery. See, when he realized that they were weaker apart, that became the name of the game. Let's separate all these so-called black people, because black people don't exist. So now, instead of the white man calling you black, he calls you Mexican, Venezuelan, Native Indian, Seminole Indian. He don't even call you by your tribal name, by the way, because most of us don't even understand the tribes here in North America especially. They had names like the Iroquois, but yet they had sub-names within the tribes. So that's why he won't call you Iroquois or Shoshone or Cherokee, but he'll claim it himself though. See, he'll just call you Native Indian, because who's really Native Indian? How do you determine that now? And if you are Native Indian, native to what area? So you're being hidden amongst all these proverbs and monikers that they put on our people. Get me Hosea 4 and 6. Because our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Got time for the Bible, brother?
No.
Are you Native Hispanic?
Yeah.
Mexican?
Yeah.
You from the tribe of Issachar, brother. Issachar means he who is hired.
Thank you.
Of course. Mexican man and woman are the hardest working people on the planet. But see, you're not going to get credit for that, because your enemies are in charge. And they go out of their way to take away all credit from the tribes. And when I say the tribes, I mean the Israelites. They make no account of your labors. They don't even mention that you're the reason why America exists. They don't even mention that. They'll put up a picture of Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Ben Franklin, a bunch of slave owners who did nothing but fuck prostitutes, do drugs, and pimp their female slaves out. They ain't do nothing else. They didn't even write the damn Declaration of Independence. A black man wrote. Go ahead and get it.
So Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children.
See, again, y'all think y'all rejecting the Most High God, not understanding it's mutual. When you turn your back to the Most High God, you best believe, before you even start to pivot, the Most High God has already shifted his back toward you. Most of you think you're closing your ears to the word, not understanding. Spiritually, Most High God already disabled you from understanding what the Bible says. Hence why, when you read John 3 and 16, you think Christ is talking about everybody. When the Bible quantifies contextually what the world, or what the word world means, over and over and over again, whether it's in Isaiah 45 and 17, Joel 2 and 27, or you could just read up 2 verses, John 3 and 14 on down. But see, most of y'all don't understand. It's a spiritual affliction that most of us have when it comes to not hearing the word of God. But brother, can you get me Matthew 6 and 25 through 26? And then we're going to go to 30 through 33 in that same chapter. Right? Because the Most High God is the keeper of all things, not just the Israelites. Not a single being or a live thing, I'll say that. Anything that's alive. A blade of grass, a white man who's interested in what we're doing over here. Most High God controls life and death for all things. But he has a soft spot for the Israelites and no one else. Go ahead and get it.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 25.
Bring it up.
Therefore, I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body than raiment? Behold, the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns. Yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they?
So the Most High God, he provides for all things, but especially for the Israelites. And the man you call Christ, whose name is Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, he juxtaposes God's concern for all things with the Israelites by giving the example of the birds and how they don't gather food, they don't till the soil, they don't do any actual work, but yet the Most High God makes sure that they eat.
Right.
Here in Texas, you always got to wonder, how in the hell are all these animals still alive when it doesn't rain here in San Antonio for literally months on end? What are they eating when you drive around this land and it's a damn, it's desolate? We live in a dust bowl. How are all these creatures eating? The Most High God is seeing to it that they're fed. See, that's why the Most High God, through his son, he's trying to tell you, hey, stop concerning all the shit that I'm taking care of and do your job.
Right.
And see, most of you Israelites don't understand your job is to keep the commandments. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, we get it all the time. We ain't going to get it now. But the sole duty of man is to keep God's commandments. When I say man, I'm talking about the Israelite man.
Right.
Because that's the only man who was given the commandments. Now, you heathen, if you want to go ahead and try to keep the commandments, hey, I dare you. But you're going to find yourself probably not wanting to keep them when you got to sit out for Christmas. You got to sit out for Thanksgiving. You got to try to keep the Sabbath to the best of your ability. You're going to be like, damn, this shit is hard. And then you're going to throw it right behind you, which is why we don't tell you about it in the first place, because we can't afflict you and punish you for not keeping the law that was never given to you.
Right.
We have to incentivize those who don't have the proclivity to keep the law in order to keep it. And that incentivification is going to be through corporal punishment. Well, not just corporal punishment, capital punishment. Right? Because if you're breaking the laws that warrant a death sentence, you will get your death sentence. See, again, and that's why you hear this white man always talking about Sharia law. He's worried about the Muslims imposing a standard where you can't rape children, where you can't rape people, where you can't steal land. Because if any law like that was imposed, the white man is finished. And he knows it. Don't believe me? Check his search history on his computer.
Right.
See, again, I say these things, and I invite any of you, I'll give you $100 if you can prove to me that I'm wrong. But you can't, because you can't help but be the crooked creature that God made you to be. And who can set straight what God said crooked? No one. Go ahead and get that 30 through 33.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 30.
Yeah.
Wherefore, if God so clothe the grass of the field, which today is and tomorrow is cast into the oven, shall he not much more clothe you, O ye of little faith? Therefore take no thought, saying, what shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or wherewithal shall we be clothed? For after all these things do the Gentiles seek. For your heavenly Father knoweth that ye have need of all these things. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
See, you're not supposed to be overly concerned with how you're going to make it from moment to moment, life to life. Most High God has got all that in hand. But see, that's the reality. Most of our people are caught up in this world. See, they're caught up with the carnal needs of this life. See, and that's why we're trying to tell our people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, that the Most High God is providing for you. He's making sure that you got a job. He's making sure you got money in your pocket. He makes sure that your enemies don't kick your door in and cart you off to places unknown. And see, the evidence of that is the juxtaposition or the comparison of the people who didn't have that protection, who are still trying to make pleas to the government to tell them where their children went. You got time for the Bible? All right, man. Okay, I'm going to keep preaching, brother. If you black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, just know you're an Israelite. Keep God's laws. See, the white man always smiling, not understanding slavery's real close. Real close. Give me Revelations 13:9-10 real quick. Words of Christ. Just to let y'all know, Christ is an advocate of slavery. See, they thought that they could enslave God's children and get away with it and just say, Jesus, I love you, and get away with it. No, sir.
Revelations chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
And as the saints, or the Israelites, we are patiently waiting for this white devil to go into slavery. And it cannot happen soon enough. The whole of creation groaneth, awaiting for the oppressor of the earth to be put down. Yeah, I mean, shit. Nobody's going to benefit more than the so-called oppressor, because they don't want to be as crooked as they are. If you look at how many of these white folks walking around who got preyed on by their dad, preyed on by their mom, it's a disproportionate amount of people, because that's what they're naturally like. That's why when we see our elders walking with a white woman, we just question, how did you get there? I don't understand. When you literally lived through integration, you saw what your people lost. You saw how they were willing to lynch and kill you just so they didn't have to drink out of the same water fountain. How did you end up with one of their daughters? How? I don't even know what that is, man. Because, I mean, how is it? Because it doesn't elicit safety or security. Because every time a white man sees you, he's like, hey, get away from my sister. And you know what? I don't blame him. He should do that, because that's his sister. The same way when I see a black, Hispanic, or Native American woman gallivanting around here with one of the oppressor's sons, we say the same thing. Get away from our sister. What do you have in common with our people? When our downfall is to the upliftment of your empire. You can never relate to us. As a matter of fact, in terms of all the people groups in America, blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, we are a group unto ourselves. The rest of y'all are just external parties. There is no us. There is no team. Because in order for us to be a team, you would have to balance the scales and give back what you stole first. And that starts with giving back our history and our heritage. And you'll never do that. Because if you do that, you'll be nothing. You'll reduce yourself to what you are, and that's an oppressor, and nothing more. But we see Christ letting the Israelites know that the Most High God has greater care for his people than he does for things like birds, grass, animals in general, and you heathen. Get me Isaiah 42, because I want to show that the Most High God don't think of these heathen in the same vein that he thinks of his people. See, this is something that we don't bring out enough. Now, Salakia 40 and 15 through 17.
Isaiah chapter 40, verse 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, He taketh up the isles as a very little thing, and Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast thereof sufficient for a burnt offering.
Said what? To 17.
All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing, and vanity.
Give me Exodus 2 and 25.
So what we see here is all the heathen are counted as nothing in the eyes of God. Nothing. See, that's why when they try to say Christ loves all of us, how can he love nothing? See, Christ only loves what the Most High God, his Father, gave him to love. There's only one group of people that the Most High God has respect unto. Let's see who they are.
Exodus chapter 2, verse 25. And God looked upon the children of Israel, and God had respect unto them.
So the Most High God has respect unto the children of Israel. So much for God views everybody the same. Isaiah lets you know that God sees the heathen as nothing, and so does Ezra. In 2 Ezra 6 and 54 on down. We get it all the time, but we ain't going to get it again. It's not needed. But you see here in Exodus 2 and 25, God has respect unto the children of Israel. A people literally named by his name. Yasharallah. He who has power with God, or prince of the power. See, that's why everybody's trying to claim to be a spiritual Israelite now. Because now people are seeing that all these empires, all these governments around the earth are going through hardship. And they realize that the only God that's got any real power is the Most High God of the Bible, Yahweh. But who Yahweh cast away, you can't forcefully turn God's hand and say, no, you have to accept me. And that's what a lot of these heathen are trying to do. And then they'll try to emotionally guilt trip you. What loving God would do that? Well, who said God was all love? Yeah, the brother said it the way a 90s kid can. They just want to taste the Kool-Aid. That's all. Not understanding that it was never theirs to taste. But brother, can you get me 1 Corinthians 10 and 12 through 14? Right? Because we read in Isaiah 48 and 10 that he chose the children of Israel to suffer affliction as his chosen. So that means that this is a proving process. This is a purification process if you read the book of Ezekiel. Right? I believe, let me make sure. Right? I don't want to just leave that out there and not tell people where to get it. Ezekiel 22. Right? Where it likens the children of Israel unto precious metals that are being purified. Got time for the Bible, brothers? All right. If you black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, keep God's laws. You're an Israelite. Right? But, yeah, go ahead and get it.
1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 12. Wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth, take heed lest he fall. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able.
You got time for the Bible, brother? I saw you nodding.
Always.
Always? What tribe do you come from in it?
Huh?
What tribe do you come from in the Bible?
What tribe do I come from the Bible?
Yeah. Have you ever thought why Jesus Christ is called the Lion that sprang out of Judah?
No.
Okay, what does it mean to come from Judah?
Homeland?
No. You remember Jacob or Israel in the Bible?
Sure.
Right? He had 12 sons.
Okay.
And the son that's designated as the king of the tribes is Judah. And Christ came out of Judah. He's a descendant of Judah, the son of Jacob.
Okay.
Right? So all the people on the planet come from one of those sons. Which son do you come from?
Wouldn't be able to tell you, right?
Well, are you a Negro by chance? Your father?
Sure.
Sure, you'd be from the tribe of Judah.
Okay.
So what should you be doing if you're an Israelite?
Not forsaking my brother.
Okay, how do you do that?
Care and love.
Okay, what does love mean? I know I'm asking a lot of questions, but when you say those things, what does that mean? Because if I say we need more love to fix what's going on in the hood,
Yeah.
hugging people is not going to fix what's going on in our communities, brother.
No,
No. You know, just like that same old adage. It took a village to raise
Okay.
one, right?
Check this out real quick. Check this out. Give me 1 John 2 and start at 3. I want to show you what love really is.
2 and 3 start. Okay.
1 John chapter 2, verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him, if we keep his commandments. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him. But whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of God perfected. Hereby know we that we are in him.
So if you keep the commandments, that's the love of God being perfected. So how many commandments are there, brother?
10.
There's 613.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
For instance, homosexuality, is that part of the 10?
No.
Nope. How about rape?
Kind of.
Adultery, that's not rape. So no. How about removing your neighbor's landmark? No. So I'm showing you that there are more commandments than the 10. Did you know it's a commandment not to gossip and talebear amongst your people? Could you imagine if we didn't talk shit about one another, brother? Nobody would be dying in the hood. We could speak plainly to each other, just like this. And I could say, brother, I have a problem with you. And you can go, well, brother, I got a problem with you. And we could just talk it out and then realize we're just brothers.
Sure.
But that's all in the Bible. That's why we're out here, brother. To bring our people back to remembrance of who they actually are. Hosea 4 and 6 says that our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
That's right.
If you call yourself black, what does that mean, brother?
What does that mean?
Yeah, what does it mean to be black?
I mean, it means your race, your color, your family.
Your color, right?
Yeah.
Is your bag black?
Huh?
Your
Brown.
bag is black, right?
Brown.
Your bag is brown? It's darker than you.
Uh-huh.
But you call yourself black.
No, I call myself brown.
Okay. Well, what does it mean to be a color? Can you go to the land of brown?
Can you go to the land of brown?
Mhm.
It's all over. That's Earth.
Okay, but
If we fill up all of this pavement, we fill up all of this, what's left underneath it?
but you know what I'm saying, brother. Do you have a government or a system of rulership and sovereignty
To live in this country, yes.
called the land of brown?
No.
No. So who called you black or brown? Did you know that started in 1681?
Sure. No, I didn't.
And the people originally called Negro were blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, all three. So if we're all called black, and black is a pejorative, then no one's black.
That's right.
And that also means no one is white. That's why I have to give you your heritage back, brother. Because if you have a heritage by way of who you actually come from, you have a nation that you go back to.
That's right.
You have a system of government, a system of ordinances and rules. Can you run an empire without rules, brother? No. And when you look in the hood, what's missing? Rules. Like, should our sisters be twerking everywhere wearing almost no clothes? No. The Bible says a woman is supposed to be in modest apparel. It also says sex is marriage.
That's right.
So the moment that they have sex and that hymen is perforated and there's blood, that's why other nations on the planet, they have tokens of a woman's virginity. It's to show the covenant made in blood. But we don't have that. So now you think a righteous woman is if she got less than 30 bodies. Because there's no rules. And a man, once he takes a wife, he's supposed to pay for her food, her raiment, and her shelter. But that starts the moment that the genitals go together, not when you go through the ceremony.
That's right.
So how many people are walking through the hood just sliding through these females, creating broken homes, fatherless children? Because there's no rules. A lot. And that's happening in the Hispanic community, brother.
Hey, Hispanic, black, all of it.
I know. Hey, guess what? And I can show you why. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 54. How you doing, brother? I'm doing great, brother. Are you Native Hispanic?
Am I Hispanic?
Native Hispanic?
Nah, fully Mexican.
Fully Mexican? You from the tribe of Issachar, brother?
Aztec.
Yeah, Azteca.
Yeah.
Did you know the Aztecs spoke Nahua? That's a broken dialect of Hebrew. When Christopher Columbus came over here, he had a man with him named Luis de Torres, a Hebrew interpreter. You know why he brought Luis de Torres? Because if you read the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, which all Catholics are more than familiar with it, Columbus knew that the lost 10 tribes were over here.
Are your beliefs more so Old Testament?
Old, New, and Apocryphal.
Okay.
Now, let me just, hey, what's up, brother? But,
Revelation and all.
yeah.
Okay.
But let me get to that. But I just want to, I see you got to go. I see you got your phone, right? I just want to let you
hear
know.
you. Obviously, you got my time.
Okay, all praises, all praises. Give me Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. I got a card. Yeah, brother, as much time as you got, I'm going to tell you, man, we going to use it up.
I got it, man. Hey, like I said, you said how much time you got for the Lord. I said, I got some.
All praises, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, yeah.
It's Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
So our whole duty and purpose, brother, is to keep these commandments. You see these little things we got on our shirts?
Yeah.
That's a commandment. That's Numbers 15:38. Or you see the brothers who have like the 4 tassels hanging down. That's Deuteronomy 22 and 12. Right? All these commandments matter, from the greatest to the smallest. Did you know when we don't keep the commandments, we fall under curses? Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 15. And while we get it, I want you to postulate this question. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we are the fastest, the strongest, and the most intelligent people on the planet. How did we all get taken down at the same time by somebody who can't stand out in the sun?
Divide and conquer.
Divide and conquer. How'd that happen? In the vision. But what caused our vision to fail, and how do we become divided? See, I can unite both of those detractors because it all goes back to a central point. You didn't have this. You didn't have the scriptures or God's wisdom. Check this out.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So let me ask you this. Because you're going from Ecclesiastes to Deuteronomy, which I believe in. But what is, those 10 commandments result in the sin of Jesus' blood shed. Blood shed.
Where?
The 10 commandments.
No, I mean, where does it say that?
Well, that's just the context of, I mean, you read Romans, the whole book of Romans. We can go into Romans 9.
No. Let's give me Revelations 22:14. I want you to explain why in the final chapter of the Bible, in the final chapter, in the 14th verse, it tells you, blessed are they that do his commandments.
Right. But those
Hold on, let's read. Let's read.
No. I know it.
No, he doesn't. So we got to read it for him, right?
Go ahead, then.
Revelations chapter 22, verse 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city.
So if you're being told to not keep, or you don't have to keep the commandments anymore,
Yeah.
can I now be a murderer?
No.
No.
So that's not what I was asking. So
Okay.
the commandments are broken. We're held to a higher standard as soon as Jesus died on that cross. So it says, as soon as you hate somebody, you've already killed them.
Brother, that's not what it says.
Well, that's the standard.
It says you're likened unto a murderer.
Right. You knew what
But here's the thing. It don't mean what you're saying. Just because me and him might have beef and he hates me for the moment, that doesn't make him a murderer, brother.
Right.
So why are you telling me or inferring that that's the case?
I'm asking.
Okay, I'm answering then. No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Now, you're not supposed to hate your brother. You know where he got that from? Leviticus 19:16. Go and get that from me. Now you understand, when you listen to Christ in the Bible, you need to understand what he was drawing it from. Because if Christ tells you not to be a whoremonger, well, did he just make that up? No, he got that from the laws of the Bible. Remember the woman at the well when she said she didn't have a husband? And Christ said, you've had 5 husbands. She was an adulterer by law. Because that woman said, art thou greater than our father Jacob? So that means she's a descendant of Jacob, meaning she's an Israelite. That means she's under the law. And if she has 5 suitors, that means she had 5 bodies. The first man was her husband. The 4 others, that's adultery. So Christ literally just let her know, like, look, you already a transgressor, but that's why I'm here. And that's why he stayed in Samaria for 2 days. And many believed on it. But we're not going to get into that. I just want to show you more about the Bible.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 16. Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people, neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am the Lord.
Now get that for me in the ESV. I want to show you, when he said your neighbor, that doesn't mean just somebody who's next to you. If you had a house, right, and you had a neighbor, y'all are like brothers, y'all get along, your families get along, and all of a sudden you come home one day, and you see their doors kicked in, all their furniture's been thrown out, all their stuff has either been stolen or destroyed, and somebody moved in and they're waving from the porch going, howdy neighbor. Is that your neighbor? No.
That's my brother.
Well, if he's not an Israelite, we gonna see. See, I'm glad you said that, because everyone isn't your brother. Only the Israelites are. Hold on, let's get this real quick. We got time. We ain't going nowhere, brother. We ain't going nowhere.
You're just making me think. So I'm asking.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 16 in the ESV. You shall not go around as a slanderer among your people, and you shall not stand up against the life of your neighbor. I'm the Lord.
Get the next verse.
Yeah, just hear this one. I want to hear this.
You shall not hate your brother in your heart, but you shall reason frankly with your neighbor, lest you incur sin because of him.
I think it's NLT that says a fellow Israelite.
But really, this is talking about a fellow Israelite, right? So when it says not to talebear, not to basically break the commandments in relation to your people, that's the love that I was talking about. That's what we read in 1 John 2 and 3 on down, right? The love of God is perfected when you keep the commandments. That's why Christ was telling you, basically, you love your enemies. Well, brother, if you're my enemy, you're still my brother. But what about somebody who's put your people in slavery and is not your brother? Do you forgive them?
It's not the easiest thing to do, but yeah, you're supposed to.
No,
You're
you're not supposed to forgive your enemies.
not Israelites.
They're not Israelites.
What?
I want to show you, because they have to pay the price. If I steal from you, brother,
But if we're the ones that don't even put down that punishment, how are we the ones to tell them that they owe us a price?
well, brother, just because we went into slavery, they weren't supposed to feed our babies to alligators.
True.
They weren't supposed to butt break us and rape our women.
Right.
They did that, brother, not just here. Are you familiar with the Greco-Roman slavery, when we were slaves to the Greeks and then slaves to the Romans?
Yeah.
And they did the same things back then.
Mm-hmm.
They have to pay for that, brother.
But it's not our job to lay down punishment.
Oh. Now, you know the Bible says that God will take vengeance by the hand of his people Israel, right? Get that for me. I will take vengeance by the hand of my people Israel.
What's that in Revelation?
Well, there's a form of it in Revelations, but
1:24?
no, it doesn't say that they're going to take vengeance in that chapter. Yeah, you're talking about chapter 7 and chapter 14. But if Christ is coming back to take vengeance and they follow the Lamb wherever he goes, then yeah.
So let me ask you this. So with Israelites, so what you're saying is those commandments only apply to the Israelites. As long as the Israelites are living out those commandments, they're doing right by God. So whoever's a Gentile, right? Let's say somebody, white man, Gentile, right?
Edomite, right?
Right. So let's say he's following those same commandments. Do the same rewards not apply to that man?
The reason why, no, because the rewards flow through the Israelites to the Gentiles.
So let me ask you, the Israelites have more authority than Christ's blood.
It's not about more authority than Christ's blood. It's about who the promises and the commandments and were given to, right? Because there's order, right? The law came to us first, but in the kingdom, all people on the planet are going to have to keep the law, right? Can I prove this? And you hear it real quick? Give me Michael 4.
Bye, Bailey.
Hey, man, being friendly. Hey. Like, because you ask a good question. I know this is a really big topic now.
No, yeah. I'm not asking just to fucking get you.
I know. Do you watch videos about the Israelites?
100%.
Okay.
I've been in Dallas, all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
I sit and talk with you guys. But, I mean, dude, I grew up around predominantly African American believers. And so, I mean, being able to learn, I'm Calvin.
Okay.
So I believe in a lot of what John Calvin said in the 1500s.
Okay.
Which, in context, when you go, I like stuff according to the ESV because that's all I read. That's the greatest translation from the Hebrew language to the English language, right?
Okay.
So with that, where does grace and mercy come in play for the people of the Gentiles? Because it says in the New Testament, Matthew, take the law out of your own eye before you speak something on the other. But it also says, cut off your arm if it's causing you to lust. What if somebody who's a Gentile is doing exactly that and living in the light of the way the Israelites are? Do you suggest them to say?
Well, I want to frame it real quick. If I broke in your house and we're living together now, can I ever do right by you while living in your house? How? I broke in. He already knows it. I can't do right while I'm living in a stolen house. That's
You
crazy.
broke in. You broke in.
I broke in.
You broke in. No, you can't.
Yeah, you didn't all of a sudden go, okay, well, now that you're here, let's sign a lease. You didn't do that. You just said, damn, man, you just in here.
Right, right.
So they've broken in, right? America was your land, or at least this part of it, right? Texas. This is your land. Now that they've broken in, what is the first order of business if they aim to take hold of this covenant? To get back or give back what they stole. So how can you take hold of a covenant when you got the world in a chokehold and won't give nothing back? Now you see why that argument doesn't really make sense, because you have to do step one before you do everything else. You got to give back what you stole. Now, what if you stole 500 years of free labor? What if you're stealing children right now? You know that it's about 40,000 children from the years of about 2020 to 2023 were stolen across the border from our Mexican brothers. They don't know where those kids went. Sold, dead, who knows? How do you pay that back? Now you see why the Messiah has to come and get payback for you, because you can't get it.
So that initially goes along with what you said,
What I said, because it's no longer our responsibility.
Okay, and now we're going to read what I was saying, that he's going to take vengeance by his people, Israel. Go ahead.
Well, hit that Micah 4:1 real quick, because I want to show you when the Gentiles get the law. Then I'm going to show you how we're going to take our vengeance. Right?
I love to spend that time, but I can only listen to this verse.
Okay, we're going to do the vengeance thing because you got to go. So get me Jeremiah 51 and 19. Actually, I believe it's 51 and 20. Because we are the Most High God's battle axes and weapons of war.
Right.
And then it goes down the list of all the things that he's going to use his people to do. This brother, he like, yo, I can't wait. And I'm the same way. We can't wait. Go ahead and get it.
Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapon of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. And with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider. And with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider. With thee also will I break in pieces man and woman. And with thee will I break in pieces old and young. And with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid. I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock. And with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke.
So you get where it's going. The Most High God is saying all the vengeance that I'm going to take, because everybody thinks when God wants to accomplish something, it's like Harry Potter. He snaps his fingers and then things start just moving in the air. It's like, no, the Most High God is pragmatic. He uses his creature and his creation to accomplish his will. So if he's supposed to punish all these nations for what they've done, why would he use something external to the victim to punish them with?
What are tools exempt from accountability?
I didn't say they were. Because we went into slavery because we were accountable to keeping God's laws. But they furthered the affliction. Remember Cyrus, King Cyrus? He was called God's anointed because he was chosen of God to basically rule over the Israelites. That was when we were in slavery to the Persians and the Medes.
Babylon.
Well, no, that's after Babylon. He's the one who came after, because remember we built the temple. Yeah. So basically, you have a heathen being called one of the chosen of God, but that doesn't mean he's chosen for the covenant. He's chosen as a tool. Remember Balaam the seer? He was basically to King Balak of the Moabites. He wanted Balaam to curse us. And Balaam was getting revelation from the Most High. And he had to let him know who the Most High God is blessed, who can curse it. So the Most High God can use whoever he wants. But there is rank and file of importance. And he holds the Israelites as top priority. Everyone else, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to say it the way the Bible says it in Isaiah 40. The Most High God views the other nations as nothing. And the reason why, it's not his job to care about them. You know whose job it is, brother? Us. Because they're our servants. A servant born in your house, it's not like America where you could spend your life working for a company for 40 years and they go, thanks, now get out of here. The Bible tells you a servant born in your house is like a son to you. Can you imagine in the kingdom of heaven when you're not dying and you've known your servant for 30 generations? When you look at him, you see something far greater than what's sitting in front of you. You know his entire legacy. Now think of how God sees you. Now that's how you get godly perspective. You have to see beyond what's in front of you. When death is not on the table, time is not as linear as it is right now. That's why you're saying I gotta go because you only got one life to live. But what if I told you you didn't have to die tomorrow, or the next day, or 1,000 years from now? You wouldn't be pressed to do anything, brother. You'd be like, you know what? I got time.
Well, I'd like to continue the conversation.
I know. We're here every Saturday, brother.
What are we going to do without that time with our family, right?
Hey, that's a good point. But, brother, as a leader of your household, make sure you become familiar with these commandments. There's 613. The only law you can't keep right now is the sacrificial law, because there's no temple. The rest of the laws, Passover, Day of Atonement, Feast of Tabernacles, wearing your fringes, dietary law, not voting for your enemies. That's in Deuteronomy. You can't vote for a heathen. All those laws matter. All right, brother?
All right.
We're here every Saturday from about 3:30 to 7, all right?
I like that.
All right, brother. Be well.
You too. Appreciate y'all.
All right. You got any other questions, brother?
No, I'm just thinking. I mean,
Okay.
because the hammer. I mean, at what moment? Let's say we do get the power that we deserve. You know, at what moment does that power start to become for our own use,
Now, when you say your own usage,
our own personal gain? Because it can happen even within the Israelites.
Okay.
I've seen it happen to King David.
okay.
Right? So, my question is like, let's say we're granted everything that was taken away from us from the start.
Okay.
Right? And we position ourselves to, instead of bringing the same power, same glory to God through what we were given from the jump, we use it for our own personal gain. So that what does that accountability look like even within being Israelites?
So, here and before the kingdom of Christ, we will never have that.
Right, 100%.
But in the kingdom, we will have God's laws put in our inward part. So, okay, I'm trying to frame it in a way that we could like kind of explore it. Say we all got, we were Kryptonians now. We're all like Superman.
Okay.
How you're asking, how could we use those powers for our own gain?
No, if we do, how are we held accountable if we're Israelites?
How would we be held accountable? Well, the Most High God would place His laws in your inward parts. So how could you transgress a law that is literally the system of not just logic, but it dictates how you think and behave?
Because the same way I walked up, we got a lot of brothers and Mexicans in the hood that are living the same way as these white folks, in a different sense.
I want to show you something real quick. 'Cause I'm going to tell you, the people who are under the curses are Israelites. Now, the only reason why we say black and white out here is because if I said Edomite or Ishmaelite, nobody's going to know. You already know, right? So you already know then that there are people who look a certain way and they're not a certain way, right? We're going to pull some proof right now, real quick. Right, and I always go to the same thing because it's nice, quick, and it gets the answer, right? This is from a book called The Negro Question, Part 4, The Missing Link, by Lee Cummings. Sure. Now, this is the one you can't find in PDF form for some reason, but version, I think it's Part 2 you can find, right? But as a matter of fact, you got a card. I'm going to make sure you have my YouTube channel. I can get you some of the PDF books if you'll just contact me, all right? But this is from Professor Boyd Dawkins, Professor of Geology from Manchester University, London of 1879. Our Remote Ancestry, pages 95 through 106. The original people of Britain, France, Spain, and England were short black men of about 5 feet and 6 inches in height. They were in England when our fathers, the white English, invaded the land in 449 AD. Our fathers were a warlike people who by 607 AD had pushed the Basque west into Wales, Cumberland, Westmoreland, and the Highlands of Scotland and Devon. Now, Scotland and Ireland used to be united in one landmass. They're really one people, right? These black people boasted that they were citizens of the Roman Empire. So the people who were, are you familiar with Oliver Cromwell?
No.
Look him up, right? The Englishmen were the so-called white folks who were warring against our people who were in charge. And when they would defeat us, those who they took captive, including nobility, they would basically deport them to the west coast of Africa or to the Caribbean.
Which is how we ended up there.
Yes. And not to mention, the reason why they had to deport us to the Caribbean is because the Spanish had slaughtered so many of the Tainos. I think they whittled them down to 200 people. So they had to restock the slaves, right? That's why when you look at Jamaicans, a lot of times you see Scottish and Irish last names. McLeod, McGowan, all that type of stuff. If you look at the slave itineraries, and what are they called? Manifests. The slave ship manifest. The names are literally Irish and Scottish last names. And the evidence is still there. Dublin, what does that mean in Gaelic? Do you know? D-U-B-H, it means black. What does the word Scot mean in Gaelic? Black. So Dublin means black land, and then to be Scottish means to be blackish. Well, how can you be blackish if it's describing your likeness?
Yeah.
So no one is literally Scottish. They call the land Scotland or black land.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why knowing this type of history, like I really want to show you some of the heraldry, right? And I could take you around Europe. Yeah, give me Coburg heraldry real quick. I just want to show you real
So
quick.
let me ask you this. So if all colored people are considered Israelites, let's take it back to Revelations when it talked about the 144,000 people.
Okay.
So do you believe that only 144,000 of us living right now, part of the 7 tribes and all that, 12 tribes,
No, okay,
12 tribes, part of the 12 tribes and all that, do you believe that that count is still going to be the only people who are granted salvation?
No. And the reason why is because those are the people who are like, if you're a king, right? Remember King David had his mighty men.
Right.
I believe it's 33 people. But anyway, he had his inner court. King Arthur had his inner court of knights.
Right.
It's no different from the son of God. He has his royal court, the 144,000 that follow him everywhere he goes.
Right.
Now, what if I told you the 144,000 are in Genesis 1 and 1? You're automatically saying, where in the hell is that?
I was going to say, I'd tell you, show me.
Yeah, hey, all praises. Now, let me move my camera right there real quick.
Oh, my bad.
So this brother's name, Yaquah, by the way, Jacob, he said, show me. Whenever somebody says something about the Bible, that should be the one thing you say. Prove it.
Show me.
Show me.
Yeah.
1 Thessalonians 5:21. Prove all things and hold fast to that which is good.
Talk to him.
Right? You gonna take our picture and walk away? You ain't gonna talk to us? Oh man, that's rude. All right, sister. You a Princess of Zion. Be blessed, all right? She tried to scoop by us real quick. I saw it. I don't take no offense. I still love you, sister. But give me Genesis 1 and 1, and we're going to go into the blue letter real quick. And I know some of y'all think, man, them Hebrew Israelites real mean. If you just stop and listen to us, man, most of the time, we the nicest people around.
So hold on, before we move on.
What's up?
Jeremiah 51, all right?
Okay.
We go up a few verses. Every man is stupid and without knowledge. Every goldsmith is put to shame by his idols, for his image are false, and there is no breath in them.
Okay. That's talking about idolatry.
Right.
Okay.
Does that not apply to us Israelites?
Sure it does.
Okay.
So if you believe in white Jesus, that's an idol.
Right.
We called on white Jesus while the white man was whipping our backs in. There wasn't no power in that.
Right.
But we started calling on Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, and look at this world right now.
100%.
100%. So there is no power in idols. You're right, brother. But what about your God, though?
Yeah.
See, now you're starting to figure out, because you say you've been talking to us over and over again, and I'm going to give you the same word I give every Israelite who talks to us all the time, and you ain't producing no results.
Yeah.
God is only going to knock at that door before he sends a goon at you to lay hands on you to remind you, hey, either get right or I'm going to drag your ass back to the spirit realm.
Yeah.
Stop playing with it, because you know too much, brother. I'm telling you, you know too much. The questions you're asking, it tells me you're watching the videos, you're reading the Bible, and you're talking to camps. You just choose one.
Are y'all Masons?
No. Oh, no.
Y'all don't do that?
No Mason. No, sir.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
To be a Mason, isn't that like a subsidiary of the Illuminati?
Not necessarily, no.
Well, they have a knowledge that's esoteric, right? All it means to be illuminated or to be part of the Illuminati is to have knowledge. Esoteric knowledge that the general public does not have. That's why they require you to do what? To believe in a higher power, whether it's Islam, Judaism, Christianity. You got to believe in some school of religion.
What it is.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But that's because they all go back to what? They go back to the scriptures. So when they start building on spiritual things, it's not lost on you. That's all it means to be illuminated. The same way when people say Lucifer, that just means bright morning star. The person who is the penultimate power in the land is who you would call Lucifer.
Yeah.
Lucifer has nothing to do with the devil.
Yeah.
Nothing. All praises. Let's get this real quick.
Get Genesis 1 and 1, and I want you to go into the blue letter for God.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
Now, the claim is that the 144,000 are right there. We're about to prove it. How much time you got left? It's all praise.
Keep going until I'm leaving.
So God in Hebrew, H430, Elohim, it means rulers, judges, divine ones, angels, gods, in singular meaning, God, goddess, godlike one, workers or special possessions of God, the true God, or God.
So what you have is a plural statement. And you know it because when it talks about man being made in our likeness. Well, that's plural. Well, who's there? Wasn't Christ the first creation? So if Christ is the first creation, give me Hebrews 1, and we're going to get that where in sundry times,
So the tribes have always been.
spiritually, yes.
Okay.
Because although people are created, there have to be spirits to be put in those vessels. That's why it's said in the scriptures that we were chosen from the foundation of the earth.
What is
So
it,
the
Ephesians?
that's I'm referencing 2nd Ezra 9,
Okay.
but it could be in Ephesians because Paul's letters. I'll be honest, I'm not the strongest brother, but if I can read it and I got my Bible with me, I'm dangerous, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Right, go ahead and get it. And read down from it.
Hebrews chapter 1, verse 1. God, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the world.
What? He made the what?
He made the worlds.
So, by the hand of Christ, everything was created. Who do you think he created first? No. If somebody has to follow him everywhere that he goes, who did he make first?
Angels or spirits.
Right. And which ones did he make first?
Tribes.
The 144,000.
All right.
If you were doing a project, brother, say like you're building a house.
Yeah.
It starts with you as the foreman or the architect, and then you build a team. Yes, you're going to build a team of, you might have a lesser foreman, right? You might be the primary architect, then you have a foreman, then he has managers, and then the manager has like shift leads and all the other stuff, right? But the thing is, though, it's still a team, and the first person is the linchpin on which the whole operation functions. So you had the Father create the Son created the 144,000, and then that's where you see Genesis 1 and 1. Now, this is to my camera and to you. If your pastor can't explain that, does he have any business teaching the Bible? It's the first verse of the book. No. But he'll take your money, though. You laugh because it's true. Hey, blacks and Spanish, we all do it. We got greasy-ass pastors who pull up to the church in a brand-new caddy, and we ride in the bus. You know how it is. But yet, he can't explain the basic tenets of the Bible. So how much, if he can't explain the basic things, how can he explain the heavenly things? You got any other questions? Cool, cool. How much time you got left? Because we're going to keep teaching. Yeah, we ain't going nowhere.
I'm here.
All right. Shit, so what's something that we can teach them real quick?
Address that, him talking about Christ saying us fulfilled.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and address that real quick. Where you want to go? Matthew 5? Yeah, get what you're going to get, and we're going to go to Matthew 5. Because I want to show you.
Acts 3 and 18, and here Isaiah 53 and 5, and 1 Peter 2 and 18.
Hit him. I'm going to read with
Matthew 5 what?
you. We're going to go to, I think, 5 and 17. Hold on.
Are you going to hit that first?
Yeah, let's go ahead and hit that first real quick. Because the brother's riding with it. Yeah.
5 and what?
17. Now, let me frame it for the camera. So what we're about to do is prove to the brother that the law was never done away with, right? And this is just to be thorough. Because remember, if you prove in all things, holding fast to that which is good, being thorough is never a bad thing, right?
Matthew chapter 5, verse 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled.
Now, I have a question, brother. Has everything been fulfilled?
No.
No. What did Christ just tell you? Not one jot or one tittle shall pass from the law until all be fulfilled. So if everything hasn't been fulfilled yet, you still got to keep the law. Keep going, brother.
Verse 19, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
So if you are aspiring to not only attain worthiness to be part of the first fruits, to be incorporated into the kingdom of heaven, then you need to be keeping every law that you're aware of.
So let me ask you this.
Okay.
Is it easier for heaven and earth? Is it easier for heaven and earth to pass away than for them, or for one dot to
I know what you're trying to say.
one dot of the law be voided?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
So that means that the law is absolute. Because if it's easier for all of heaven and earth to pass before God's law is done away with, why are we saying we have to keep God's laws?
Exactly.
Exactly. But I say that not just to you, but to anybody who says you don't have to keep the Sabbath. You can eat pork now.
Right.
Wait, I thought that's part of the law.
Right.
And this is more so for my camera. Your pastor, when you ask him these questions, he's going to tell you Jesus paid it all.
Right.
But he won't go into the scriptures and show you where Christ told you now, hey, y'all can eat pork. Hey, you have to keep the Passover.
But okay, so let me ask you this: at what point does faith in what we believe overcome the law in which we were given?
They go hand in hand.
Okay.
I have a question, brother.
Yeah.
If I told you, if you drive down that block, there's a big old bag of money, 3 lights down, on the left side of the road next to the crosswalk,
Got it.
would that show more faith just to say okay and then just stand here, or say okay and then drive 3 lights down and look for that bag of money?
Second option.
The second option. So if I have faith in God, do I have more faith with my works, or do I have more faith without my works? And I like the way I did that right there.
With them.
Didn't have to read.
With them.
With them.
Right.
So what you're really asking me, brother, is how do I show my faith? And I have to tell you, the only way to show your faith is by keeping the law. Faith is literally a work. It's part of the law.
So that reverts me back to my first question, or my first statement with the commandments being broken. Because what's the point of Jesus shedding his blood for the commandments to still stand?
Okay. The reason why he shed his blood is for the new covenant and for the and the reconciliation of the Israelites.
Right. 100%.
Right?
Yes.
So that has nothing to do with the dissolution of the law.
Okay.
Nothing. And we're going to get that in Hebrews 9. But let's read this out. What you got?
Those are the verses I wanted to hit to address that. But I want to hit this real quick since y'all are on that 20 and then go to 23 and 3.
Yeah, get it.
So Matthew chapter 5, verse 20 says, "For I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter the kingdom of heaven." So I'm going to go to chapter 23 and hit verse 3.
That goes back to Romans 3. No one's righteous, not even one.
Matthew chapter 3, verse 3. "All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do, but do not ye after their works, for they say and do not." So that's talking about the
So you
Pharisees.
can't have faith without works, and you can't have works without faith.
Correct.
I should have hit the verse 2 saying that, 'cause that's the scribes and the Pharisees sitting Moses' seat.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But he's got it, yeah. But because again,
No, I heard it.
this brother knows more than he's letting on as well. That's why I'm not giving you a way out. That's why I'm being thorough. Because if I'm not thorough, you gonna poke holes in my shit.
Not even. No, I'm genuinely curious.
I know. I see it.
There's a lot, man. There's so many questions that could be laid out, and of course I could go into my own beliefs of whatever, but I'd rather hear you and then go dissect that later.
Okay. And,
Instead of argue about what I believe, you know?
yeah, and plus, we're gonna put the video up, and you'll have our channel.
Okay.
Because my channel's not on that card. I'm gonna have to give it to you before you leave. All right.
Cool, yeah, I'll grab your number or something.
But yeah. So what we're trying to tell our people is that Christ didn't stand for a new law. When he said, loving God first and foremost with all your mind, soul, and strength, and then loving your neighbor as you love yourself, he said, on these 2 tenets hang all the law. If I hang up a picture Does it mean it's suspended by the nail that it's hanged on? Well, yes. If I hang a picture on the wall, it's got to be suspended by something.
Okay, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, they-
On a hanger.
yeah, shirt on a hanger.
It's gonna hang there.
So if you hang the law on the nails or if you hang those two laws that Christ gave on the law of the Bible, that doesn't mean the laws have dropped onto the ground and don't need to be kept. That means that those two laws represent all the law.
Yeah.
That's why we can go to 1 John. We're going to do that right now. Go to 1 John, I believe, chapter 3. Actually, go to 5. 5. We're going to do 5. Because you already know what sin is. Sin is the transgression of the law.
John chapter 5.
Yeah, and get what love is.
1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
So if you love God, how can you love God if you don't keep his commandments? This brother doing a crash course. I like it. See, and this is to my camera.
So let me ask you this.
Okay,
So,
what's up?
because it goes on to 5:5. Who is it that overcomes the world except the one who believes that Jesus is the Son of God?
Mhm.
So even with that, and this isn't for me specifically, but just for the sole purpose of thought,
Uh-huh.
for those of the people that have faith but aren't given the law, the Bible, and they can't study it for themselves, are their sins not justified through the blood of Christ?
Well, we're going to go to Hebrews 9 to show you that only the Israelites are justified by the blood of Christ.
Okay.
But even within the
So do you
Israelites,
guys believe in predestination then, right?
of course.
And limited atonement?
Well, no. So, because the thing is, when you have regeneration, we're going to go through regeneration. That's going to answer a lot of your questions. But when it comes to, damn, broke my train of thought. Broke my train of thought.
My bad.
You got me, man. Damn, you derailed my shit, man. But so yeah, let's get that in 1 John real quick.
Well, that was the,
I wanted 2 and 3.
yeah, we're going to hit that, love guy.
Yeah, give me for neighbor. Yeah, for 2. Give me 2.
1 John chapter 5, verse 2. By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments.
Now notice, these are the 2 new laws that Christ came with.
Right.
Loving God first and foremost, and loving the children of God. But now you know that loving God without the commandments is impossible. Because what is love? Keeping the commandments. Give me 1 John 2 and 3. We read it earlier, we're going to read it again.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because it literally talks about the love of God being perfected in those who keep his commandments.
1 John chapter 2, verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him, if we keep his commandments. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him.
Keep on.
But whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of God perfected. Hereby know we that we are in him.
So, based on what we just read in 1 John, if I said I love God, but I refuse to put down pork,
Right.
is that really loving God? No. How about if I refuse to keep the Sabbath? Same thing. So now you're seeing that love according to God has nothing to do with an emotion.
Right.
It has everything to do with your fidelity to keeping his law.
Well, his glory.
Well, to his glory. Now, what if I told you that faith in Christ is a required work of the law? It's in Deuteronomy 18:18. Yes, I do. Bob Kushar. And this is to my camera. This is what your pastor should be doing. Hey, man. Hey, we're good-looking people, man. Hey, it don't hurt to flex every so often. You know what I'm saying? But we should be letting our people know what it means to really love God. Because a lot of our people think they're doing the right thing.
Right.
But yet, they're doing the furthest thing away from what God is calling them to do.
So correlate that to Romans 9 for me. For Jacob I have loved, and Esau I have hated.
We gonna get that.
Okay.
All right, we'll go there next.
It's Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 18. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and I will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. Keep going.
Yeah, keep on.
And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him.
Who is the one prophet that you have to believe in. Christ. There is. Now, do you have a smile on your face? Because you realize, like, wait a minute. So even if I don't have all the law, if I believe in Christ, I'm still keeping the law. That's how mercy can be granted to you. Because if I told you, hey, brother, I need you to rebuild those cars over there, but you don't know how to build a car. If you did a bad job, can I really blame you for that? No. You think God isn't aware of those who haven't received the law yet? Yeah, he's aware of that. Didn't Christ give you the parable of the Lord whose servants basically revolted and beat the other servants? He said a servant who's knowledgeable of his Lord's will and doeth it not is beaten with many stripes. But a servant who transgresses and doesn't know the difference, he's beaten with few stripes. That's where mercy comes in, brother. Righteous judgment comes in. That's why our people walking around, I know we sound very gruff and rough and like we gonna pull somebody's head off. But we know our people don't know no better.
Yeah.
That's why it's like, yo, I'm trying to tell you what to do before God has to check you.
You want to be humbled by humans before you be humbled by God.
Hey, the brother said what I say all the time. You want to be humbled by somebody lesser than the Most High before the Most High has to address you directly. Everybody knows what that's like. You on the job and a district manager or somebody who's above your real manager, they're like, hey, who's that? Why is he doing that at his desk? Why he got all them candy wrappers around his desk and he's sleeping and shit? You already know what's going to happen. You getting fired. Because somebody above your manager's station now has to come check you, and that's a blight on him. So he like, yo, shit rolls downhill, man. You got to get up out of here. You making me look bad. So what if Christ shed his blood for the remission of sins for the Israelites, and we continue to sin anyway? Don't that make Christ look bad?
Absolutely.
Because think of it like this. The Most High God is the judge, and he's your lawyer. You know the lawyers get to talk to the judge, especially when the judge is considering leniency.
Yeah.
Now, what if it's the fourth time you're in that judge's court? You think that judge going to listen to your lawyer when he goes, hey, man, give him another chance? It's completely different. So we're supposed to be trying to offend less so that your intermediate, or what is it, your intercessor can plead your cause on your behalf and go, hey, look, Dad or Father, Most High God, Yahweh, I know that Hayael, man, you know, his weakness is hoes. Because I ain't gonna lie, my weakness has always been women, right? But the thing is, since I came into the truth of the Bible, I understand sex is marriage. I have one wife. I contacted every woman I ever dealt with that I could get a hold of, and I let them know, according to the Bible, we are married. Do you accept that or not? If not, just consider that your bill of divorce. I tried to do the best I could. So Yahushua could go, hey, look, Father Yahweh, Hayael, yeah, he transgressed. He's worthy of death, but look at all the things he tried to do to improve. Can't the Most High God show mercy unto whom he will show mercy? And can't he show compassion unto whom he will show compassion? We're about to read it in Romans 9. So, but what if you're a hardened criminal and you coming in the courtroom going, yeah, I love hoes, and I'm still fucking them?
Yeah. Pharaoh.
But the Most High God hardened his heart for a purpose. Now you see why predestination is a thing, and we're going to get into that as well. Okay, all praise, all praise, all praise. But let's get this in Romans 9. What part of Romans 9 did you want to talk about?
For Jacob I've loved and Esau I've hated.
13?
Yep.
Okay, what about it?
How does that correlate to what you were saying earlier about the law? Because if Esau from the moment of birth wasn't following the law, and Jacob from the moment of birth wasn't following the law, but faith separated them within their lifetime, how does predestination work in that sense?
Okay, cool. Give me Psalms 147 and give me the last two verses. Because what if I told you the law never went to Esau? The law has only been given to Israel. When Moses came down from the mountain with the law in Exodus 31, and then when he went back up the mountain to get a new set of tablets in 34, where was everybody else at? They weren't there. The only people who were there in small numbers were the Egyptians. But they were there as witnesses. They were not there to have the blood sprinkled upon them and to be brought under the covenant. So you could say that there were no heathen there. So if they were never given the law, how can they be held to the standard of it?
Yeah.
So, and this is what I love. It's not a point of contention.
Right.
It's just making the gears move.
Yeah.
Because once you got it, they can't take it from you. You see what I'm saying? And this is the reason why I'm phrasing it like this. We argue with our people a lot, brother, as you already know.
Yeah.
When we say stuff like this, we have niggas who want to fight. And all we're trying to let them know is, hey, man, you fighting God. You're not fighting us. Right? Well, go ahead and get that for me, brother.
Psalms chapter 147, verse 20. He had not dealt so with any nation.
Go up a verse.
Verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He had not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them.
They have not what?
They have not known them.
One more time.
They have not known them.
Keep going.
Praise ye the Lord.
They have not known them. Give me Amos 3 and 1 through 3. I want to show you why, no matter how much we try, we can never get along with all these other nations. Because we're meant to keep a standard of laws that define our behavior that they are not beholden to. Check this out.
Amos chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. Can two walk together except they be agreed?
So can two groups of people who have two diametrically opposed ways of life come together? If you want to go up and I want to go down, can we go and go together? No.
But can you come to a medium?
No.
Why not?
Because we ought to obey God rather than man.
100%.
But if they're not mandated or commanded to obey God, then they're either on your program, in your house as a servant, being a righteous servant according to the Bible, Leviticus 20:25. Anything else is unacceptable.
As you cross the path, but you're going on a journey, you got to keep going.
Separate ways. 100%. But on that path cross, there's a point where we get to witness to those people.
Sure. And we're going to go back to Micah 4 and 1. Let's get that real quick.
I'm glad you brought that up. You brought us back. All praise. All praise.
Micah chapter 4, verse 1. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it. And many nations shall come and say, come, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, and to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways.
Hold on, we're going to keep going.
Now I have a question. When is this? Is this at the end? When the kingdom of Christ is already here? Yes. So if they're going up to the house of the Lord to learn of the Most High God or to become acquainted with him, because God don't know you if you don't keep his commandments, right? And God said, only you have I known, O house of Israel. So if they're only going to get to know God after the kingdom has been established, do they know God now? No. Can they get to know God now? They can get a similitude through his people, but God ain't dealing with them like that. That's why, go to Revelations 11.
So do you think if we knew who the predestined were, would you only talk to the predestined?
No,
Why not?
because the Most High God sends us out to the elect and those who are destined for destruction.
But if those who are destined for destruction have no means of making it into the gates, why would you not just spend the rest of your time with the elect?
Yeah, but you give them a chance.
Yeah.
They're marked at that point.
Yeah, say that in the mic.
So how are they giving it?
No, hold on, let me say that.
So they're giving the word and the law and all that, giving correction. But once they turn it away and choose not to do it, they're marked at that point.
Okay.
Yeah. Marked for destruction.
So that's a really good question that he asked, right? Because, but okay, that's actually a really good question. But the thing is, how would you know who's elect and who's not?
Exactly. That's why we preach to everybody.
Correct. So, because there are our brothers amongst the Israelites. If you watch the videos, you already know what I'm talking about right now, right? We have two brothers that we thought would never, ever, ever fall off. And now these brothers are teaching all sorts of heresies. But that's because the man that you believe yourself to be, you're only you because God hath ordained it to be so. Get me Proverbs 20 and 24 real quick. and then give me Proverbs 21 and 1.
Proverbs 24 and 47.
20 and 24. Yes, sir. That cop was listening.
Proverbs chapter 20, verse 24. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man that understand his own way?
So if a man's goings are of the Lord, do you ever choose what you want to do? No. So if God chooses who he wants to basically be part of the first fruits and who's going to be reborn in the kingdom, remember I said we were going to go into regeneration. Somebody's going to be the first fruits and somebody's going to be reborn in the kingdom with their hands in their pockets, looking down, shamefaced and kicking rocks. I just pray to be part of the first fruits, but I don't know if I'm part of that group,
Right.
but I'm doing what I think the first fruits would do. You see what I'm saying?
Going out preaching the message.
And not to mention, it's not my choice. I was an atheist before I woke up to the Bible. Complete atheist. I used to do shrooms, DMT, all types of drugs. I was basically a drug addict. You can say that, right? But the Most High God allowed me to run into a video on YouTube, and once I heard it, I was like, well, goddamn, that's the truth. You know how people say they really want the truth? Most people are lying to themselves. I actually wanted the truth. And when I heard it, I was like, yo, I'm not turning away from it. I've been looking for it my whole life.
Have a blessed day, Elder.
That is such a good dog. I've never seen him jump on anybody or anything.
Nah, he won't. He'll jump on rotisserie chicken though. He
Oh,
loves,
yeah.
He loves Sam's rotisserie chicken.
All right, Zeus, keep him safe. Take care, Elder. Right? But we have to be out here to make these things plain because you're able to get it. But most brothers, they don't have the framework to get it. Most of our sisters, they don't have the framework and they've been conditioned. As soon as a black or Hispanic or Native Indian man starts talking to them, they've been programmed to turn their back and to rebel. That's why you don't see a lot of sisters coming up and getting this truth. Although there are some, right?
21 and 1.
Proverbs chapter 21, verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whatsoever he will. Or whithersoever.
So the Most High God literally is ordering the steps of all men on the planet. Did you know you decided to come over here and stop and that wasn't your decision either? Give me Isaiah 30 and 20 and read down to 21.
So free will is limited. I agree with that. It's like you're boxed in a cell. You can go back and forth and pace as much as you want back in that cell, but as much as you desire to get out of it, you never will.
You can't.
You can't.
Right.
You can or can't?
You can't.
You can't. Right.
You can't.
Okay.
You're right.
So with predestination coming in hand with that, that's the only difference in getting out of that cell or not.
Correct.
Okay.
So like say like if it's God's will that I all of a sudden go back into atheism, I can't do anything about that. I might kick and scream.
So do you think at that point were you ever really saved to begin with?
Yes. Well, but here's the thing: all of Israel shall be saved. That's why we're going to go into regeneration. See, that I'm not forgetting. I'm not forgetting because you know about deja vu, right? You walk into a room and you go, man, I've been here before. What if I told? Have you ever looked at a picture of your great 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 grandfather, like 3-4 generations back, and you go, I know that guy. Especially if they're young in the picture. You go, yo, that looks like me.
Familiar.
In some cases, you're looking at your own face. But what if I told you that every 3 or 4 generations, you come right back?
I'd ask you how.
That's a good question. Now I have a question too. Didn't creation stop after the 6th day? Whether you view it as a 24-hour period or 1,000 years, because a day to the Most High God is what? 1,000 years, right? If the Most High God only created so many spirits for to populate the bodies in the earth, right? If he only created so many spirits, well, where's the new spirit coming from when somebody's born? It's not a new spirit. It's a recycled spirit. And we're going to prove that, right?
Hold that. Give me 2nd Ezra 14:34. We're going to go ahead and answer this question. 14 and 34. And this is also going to address what you're reading in Romans 9 and 13. Because if the Most High God created us to be saved, then he created other people to be destroyed.
Right.
And there's only one group of people who's not going to be on the earth after 1,000 years of Christ's reign. Who are those people? the Edomites.
Yeah, right.
All right? Obadiah 1 and 18. Have you read the book of Obadiah? It's one chapter. Make sure you read that.
Second Ezra chapter 14, verse 34. Therefore, if so be that ye will subdue your own understanding and reform your hearts, ye shall be kept alive, and after death ye shall obtain mercy. For after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again. And then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared.
So let me get this straight. If you subdue your own understanding, meaning you don't go off and according to your own understanding, and you keep God's laws, when you die and you receive judgment, you shall be kept alive. For after death shall the judgment come. Now, when it says you shall be kept alive, what does that mean? It could be literal, right? Because isn't there a final judgment that we all hope to be eligible to pass?
Right, and the only thing I can think of is spiritual death. That's the only thing that's eternal.
Okay. Now, there's only one group of people who's gonna endure that, whether it's literal spiritual death or just being inactive or put to sleep, right? Because I want to show you when you're in the spirit realm, you're just at rest. Give me Job 3. I always forget the verse real quick. 3 and 16 and read down.
Y'all here every Saturday?
Saturday 3:30 till 7. You gotta go?
No, I'm about to, but
Okay.
I won't.
How much more you got? About 15 minutes, 30? 15?
Let's make the most of that. So,
So he should fulfill, but maybe next time.
Yeah.
Job chapter 3, verse 16. Whereas an hidden untimely birth I had not been, as infants which never saw light. Therefore the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest. Therefore the prisoners rest together. They hear not the voice of the oppressor. The small and the great are there, and the servant is free from his master.
So let me get this straight. Job is wishing to be like an untimely birth. If a baby is born too premature, what happens? It dies. And then he says, where the wicked and the righteous are there, the great and small are there, the servant is free from his master, and the wicked cease from troubling. This is what people might call Sheol. But it's just a place of rest. Nothing's going on.
So do y'all believe in purgatory? Sheol is purgatory?
Well, Sheol in the Hebrew term is the grave.
Okay.
But spiritual purgatory is what we're talking about. There's really not a term for it, to be honest with you. Yeah. But it's described here. So let's walk through the process. You live your life, whether it's good or bad. You die, your spirit departs your vessel. It returns to the Father. He gives you a judgment. What is that judgment for? It's for correction. So if you're doing everything right, how much correction do you need? None. What if you're doing everything wrong? You need all the correction. And what does God use to correct you? Judgment. So what if you, say you a trigger man, right? When they do drive-bys in the hood, they call you like an assassin. But then you receive your judgment from God, and God has you be born with no arms. Can you pull triggers anymore? Nope. Problem fixed. See, you laugh, but that's how God get down. See, and a lot of people, they're like, man, what loving God would have somebody be born with a hole in their heart where they can't move around a lot, a heart murmur? Why would God let somebody be born without legs and, nothing below the torso? Well, somebody he's trying to correct. Because that spirit isn't new. God knows the real you. I say that all the time. God knows the real you.
So then what do you think about God being the same from the moment he was created, or from the moment he created to the moment it happened?
God being the same?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't change.
Well, God don't change, but you do.
Right, so with God not changing, that means spirits are still created.
Well, no. That means God's plan don't change. Think of it like this. The Bible is really a script.
Yeah.
Doesn't God say, I told you the end from the beginning? Yes. So if he already plotted out the end from the beginning, that's like writing, say, Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Right? What's her name? J.K. Rowling or whatever?
Yeah.
When she wrote Harry Potter, she already knew roughly in the middle of the book what the end was going to be. Now, when you buy the book,
Can you wish hard enough for Harry Potter to get slain by one of his enemies and it happened? No. You can't change the script. As you could take every copy and rewrite it. Does it change the original plot of the book?
Not at all.
Not at all. So what if God is the ultimate judge and arbiter of the world? It doesn't matter how you interpret the scriptures. It's all about what God said. So everything is predetermined. That's why in you're talking about Malachi. God doesn't change. You're right. But guess what? He already told you the changes that are going to occur. And he's not amending his decisions. Then he say, all my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure, and not one word will return unto me void? Yes. So if he's saying that this is his word, and not one word is going to falter, then that's what that means. God don't change, and neither do his decrees.
Good stuff.
Good stuff, man. I'm glad to be able to teach, man, because a lot of times it's just rebuking people, man. That shit get old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
But Yaiquab, right? When you gonna start coming out here doing the work? Just come chill with us, man. 3:30 till about 7. We do this. We preach the word, and then we go home. Lord willing, right? Because you can't go to jail for this shit. I'm gonna be real with you. You know what I'm saying? But typically, though, the Most High God, because I've been preaching at this spot for almost 5 years. So I done had cops draw guns on me, all types of shit. Most High God made sure I went home every time. God bless, right? Yeah, get that Job 38, right? 33? Yeah, it might be 33. I think it's late in Job, man. We gonna get this real quick for you, and then we gonna let you go, brother. You know God's real name before you go? It's Yahweh. See now people say Yahweh. There are no E's in Paleo Hebrew. Yeshua, that's for Christ. Right? Yeshua, Ahaya. Yeah, they be saying all types of crazy shit now, man. Can you look up the Tetragrammaton for me? So in the Paleo Hebrew, when you read the Dead Sea Scrolls and other ancient texts, it shows how God's name is written out, right?
I think I've seen that somewhere. Yeah.
I'm trying to see if it's on the No. He's going to show it to you real quick. Tetra, T-E-T-R-A-G-R-A. There it is. So, and you read it right to left. Yahweh. But the way it conjugates at the end is Yahweh. That's how you say it. Because there are no E's or U's or O's or J's in the Paleo Hebrew. No V's and F's either. But, so, Yahweh is God's name. What's Christ's name? Because the letter J is only 500 years old. It's Yahushai. Yahushai HaMashiach. Now, think about this. Mr. Yaiquab, as you go home, what if you called your dad Mr.? Think about it. I'm hungry, mister. I need help, mister.
Weird.
It'd be weird. And wouldn't it be somewhat disrespectful? Absolutely. But I know without a shadow of a doubt, as an Israelite, the Most High God has shown himself to you in ways that you know God is real. Things have happened to you where you go, there's no way I made it out of that aside for God. God loves his children even when they're in ignorance. And he's patient with us. If you read Sirach 18, he multiplies his patience upon all creation. How much more upon his children who don't know it? But now that you have his name, do you have an excuse for not using it? No. Notice how that shit reverberated, right? But it's to tell blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, when you're told better, you have to do better, or you will be punished to the full extent of the law.
So those who preach, that's why they're held to a
Higher standard. You got it. Didn't Christ tell you, to whom much is given, much is required? And where do you think Spider-Man got that from Uncle Ben?
responsibility.
Yep. With great power comes great responsibility. They got it from the Bible.
Yeah.
See, again, when you find this stuff out, you laugh because you're like, man, how the hell did they give this to me and I didn't realize where it came from? When you watch Star Wars, you know what Jedi means? Judah. Use the Force. Oh, everybody knows what that is, but when you say the Holy Spirit, they go, what's that?
Yeah. 100%.
King David was able to leap over 40-foot walls and take on legions by himself. We say that's impossible, but then we look at stories of all these different war heroes in these war movies. You look at somebody like Samson killed 1,000 men with the jawbone of an axe. You look at somebody, Shamgar, who killed 600. See, most people don't know about him. David's mighty men, he had a man who could kill 800 people with the swing of a spear. See, the Holy Spirit used to be relatively common amongst our people when the Most High God was with us. But when we started breaking God's laws, he stripped it away. And now we can't defeat anybody. Can you imagine? You play video games? You know what Punch-Out is, right? Well, Glass Joe is like Glass Jaw. Glass Joe is the first boxer you face. Can you imagine you can't pass level 1? But that's what God will do to you if you break his laws. Before, well, go ahead. I want to show you, before you go, get me Judith 5:17. This is very important because we need brothers who are aware of what's going on to start keeping the commandments. What you asked about the 144 and basically the 1/3, you need to understand until the righteous servants of God are sealed in their forehead, meaning they are knowledgeable of the scriptures and they're keeping the laws. Until the righteous are sealed, we're stuck here, Jacob. And if you're counted amongst the righteous, you're holding us up, Jacob.
Proverbs 1:18, 9 through 11. How can a young man keep his way pure by living according to the word? Do not stray from my commands. I've kept your word in my heart so that I might not sin against you.
Okay.
So let me ask you this.
Well, hold on. Let's get this real good.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Judith chapter 5, verse 17. And whilst they sinned not before their God, they prospered, because the God that hateth iniquity was with them. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs.
So while we weren't sinning, we were good. As soon as we went off, we took L after L after L.
So let me ask you this. Okay. If any moment we weren't sinning,
Okay.
how is it that people are born children of wrath?
What do you mean?
Because if we're not sinning from the moment of being born, right, and it's up until that point that we know exactly what we're doing, that's when that change occurs, right? That's what that verse said.
Somewhat.
In a
Somewhat.
sense?
In a nutshell. Okay, I'll go with that.
So, dang, I don't even remember my question.
So how are we born children of wrath?
Children of wrath.
Okay.
Yes. How are we born children of wrath if that is relevant?
Get me the Most High God
I'm
shall
not
choose your
disagreeing
delusion.
with that either, because that's solid. That's
Yeah.
valid. You know, but I'm just asking because
I-
apples and oranges. You know,
Did you play the Zelda Ocarina of Time?
a little bit.
What if you never left Kokiri Village? What type of story would that be?
It would be horrible.
It'd be horrible. It'd just be a little kid running around, living as a fairy.
Yeah.
You think God just wants the story to be, you were born righteous, you were always righteous, and that's the end of the story?
No. Absolutely
No. The Most High God ordained this whole thing from the beginning. The wicked, the righteous, those who are put by, and those who are part of the first fruits. Actually, before we get, go ahead and get that.
Isaiah chapter 66, verse 4. I also will choose their delusions. I will bring their fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. But they did evil before my eyes, and chose that in which I delighted not.
So the Most High God chose our delusions. Everyone, literally everyone, is given exactly what they need to be proven, to be tested. If you play a video game, you have 100 different units. Say like, you ever play Warhammer, any of those type? Okay, well, Warhammer is like a war game where you have your army, I have mine. What if I had my army and it's just all soldiers, just all grunts? And you've got jets and tanks. You're going to destroy me because I'm literally a monolith. I have one advantage and a whole bunch of disadvantages that's not accommodated at all. The Most High God is trying to staff a kingdom on the planet. Can everybody be the king? No, only one person, Yahushua, can be the king. How about his inner court? No, the 144,000 is the inner court. But then you see a breakdown in that. You see the 12 elders. You see the 20 elders that fell before the Most High and worshiped him in Revelation 11. So you have all this different striation of authority and basically jobs, right? Or utility. Everyone's not going to be the same. Rank and file. All the way down to the lowest of the Israelites. But even the lowest of the Israelites have fame that's greater than John the Baptist. So from the top to the bottom, they're still better than any heathen. But at the same time, though, within our ranks, there is greater glory and lesser glory. So how do you get that lesser glory? We already covered it in Matthew 5. To break the least of the commandments and teach men so. You need to be out here teaching, man. Get geared up.
I appreciate y'all, man.
Of course, man. Love you, King.
Sir, y'all say easy. Y'all say easy.
But before you go, Yahweh is God's name, and Yahweh Shai is his son's name. Don't forget it. When you pray, face the east, as you were told by King Solomon, remember? You face the temple, you raise your hands up, you take your shoes off, get on your knees, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, and then you make your supplication before the Lord. All right?
Cool. Love y'all.
All right, Yaquab.
Y'all stay easy.
You too, you too. God bless you, man. That's why we are out here, Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, to bring you back to your heritage. So I'm going to tell you, being an Israelite is sure better than being a nigga. I mean, you can't even argue with it. You're part of the greatest people on the planet. Give me Deuteronomy 7 and 6. And here's the thing. When brothers stop like that, you want to teach them the whole Bible. You know what I'm saying? You want to teach them everything you know because you want somebody to stand shoulder to shoulder with you. And then if he wants to go to a different spot and teach, all praises. Now we got more coverage. Now we can reach our people. Somebody might get pissed off right here and walk down the street, and he's able to resonate with them a little bit more, and they stop. That happens all the time. I know I piss a lot of people off. I don't hold no illusions about that shit. But I do know that God yields the increase. Right. I do understand that. That's why we have to implore our people, return to your heritage. Give me Deuteronomy 7 and 6. You already got it?
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
You Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you are the greatest people on the face of the earth. That's why everywhere you go, everybody wants to be just like you. But they can never imitate you to the point where they are you. It's like getting great value cereal at Walmart. It might taste close, but it's not the same. Instead of Captain Crunch, you got Admiral Crunchy.
What's that saying? Imitated but never replicated or some shit?
Yeah,
like
imitated but never replicated.
Wolf in sheep's clothing.
I'm sorry?
Wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah, a wolf. Well, not just a wolf in sheep's clothing, but you're a petty pretender. That don't necessarily mean they're wicked, because a lot of people, mimicry is a form of flattery. You know what I'm saying? But we have to let everybody know, hey man, you can't replace us. And that there is a concerted effort to replace God's children. And we have to let the world know the Most High God knows his own.
It's a fake.
That's why the Most High God tells you to separate from your enemies. And yes, the sons of your slave master, I don't care how nice they are to you, are your enemies.
Right.
Give me that, separate thyself from thine enemies and take heed of thy friends. So I'm going to tell you, when everything start going down here in America, they going to turn back to their people. They going to turn back and go home. And to you coons who don't want to separate and come back to your people, you're going to be asked out. You're going to be begging for help from people who don't feel nothing about you.
You're not a Jake. You're a fake.
Yeah, you ain't a Jake, you a fake. You got it.
Sirach chapter 6, verse 13. Separate thyself from thine enemies, and take heed of thy friends.
See, and it's not hard, because a friend wouldn't enslave you. A friend wouldn't take your heritage and then slap it on himself like he's Leatherface and pretend to be you. See, that's why we have to tell our people, man, you're destroyed for a lack of knowledge. You happily call yourself something that you were never meant to be called because you don't know any better. And you're destroyed as a result of it. No one is black. No one is Hispanic, right? Those are derogative terms that have been put on us. How you doing, man?
Sniffing us out, trying to take parts of us.
If y'all are Native Hispanic, just know y'all are Israelites, God's special and chosen people.
That's right.
If you're Mexican, you're from the tribe of Issachar. Issachar meaning he who is hired. That's why the Mexican man and woman are the hardest workers on the planet. And no one gives you your due. But what is it all for if you don't keep God's commandments?
Right.
Because you're going to always work for your enemies and never to the upliftment of your own people. So I find it weird, man. People will stare at us until we acknowledge them, and all of a sudden, straightforward Ray Charles mode. It's just all that shit. Like, bro, like, okay, I mean, damn, you can at least say hello. Be cordial. You staring and shit, man. It's rude.
Entered in the Twilight Zone. They were there, but all of a sudden,
Yeah, they disappeared. I say it all the time. The best way to activate stealth mode in this kingdom is bring up the Bible. All of a sudden, niggas can't see you.
nigga, no.
For real, you just go invisible like the Predator. Gone. But see, we're just out here to let our people know you are special people unto the Most High God. And the Most High God has gone to extreme lengths to make sure that you've been taken care of. Give me Zechariah 2:7 and read down to 9. Deliver thyself, O Zion. Right? It's important that we understand the Most High God has always been with us when we went into captivity.
2 and 7.
Yeah. Read down to 9.
Zechariah chapter 2, verse 7. Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath sent me unto the nations, which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. For behold, I will shake my hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants. And ye shall know that the Lord of hosts hath sent me.
So the Most High God has come onto your people, or to our people, through his servants. Because we're carrying the wisdom of the Most High God through the scripture. And that's how you're going to deliver yourself, by taking heed and hearkening onto the wisdom of the Most High God and learning it at the mouth of his servants. What's going on with it?
Huh? Reserve.
But see, we're out here just to let our people know that God loves you, man. And I understand it's been a rough ride, man. We've been going through a lot of shit for a very long time. But we're supposed to be trying to deliver ourselves by hearkening unto the scriptures. Now, I do want to read something that brother kept touching on, talking about, free will, regeneration, all that other stuff. And predestination. That's the word I'm looking for. Give me 2 Ezra 9 real quick. Because, see, it's very important, man. We proved it with Job, but I wanted to let that brother know, man. Because one of the things that's going on right now is that our people are trying to figure out, well, what's going to happen to those who are not meant to be saved? And start at 1 and read down through 9.
2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning.
See, we're seeing all these perilous things come upon the earth. And see, all of these things were predestined from the very beginning. See, that's why we have to assure our people nothing is happening that the Most High God doesn't already have in hand.
Right.
He already has everything sewed up. It's all been predestinated and written from the beginning, including our captivity to our most hated enemies. All of it has been predestinated, including them going into slavery as a result of what they've done to us.
Right.
All predestinated. Keep going, brother.
I know.
Verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs.
Yeah, man, I know that cigar smoke, man. But hey, man, I'm not surprised. You know what I'm saying? Wherever them people go, man, that's the impact they have. That river don't look like that for nothing. You know what I'm saying? They destroy everything, even the air quality around them. That's why they have to go into captivity. They have to. Because if the Most High God don't put these damn devils in captivity, man, ain't no flesh gonna be saved. Straight up. Ain't no flesh gonna be saved. But keep going, brother. Go ahead and get that again.
Yeah.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings, in wonder and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. Every one that shall be saved, and shall be able to escape by his works, and by faith, whereby ye have believed.
So everybody who's going to be found eligible to escape the final judgment and be preserved is going to be saved by his works. Now, didn't we just read already that the Most High God, he already predestinated all these things from the very beginning? We did. So the Most High God has already chosen who's going to repent, keep his laws, and endure unto the end. And he's chosen those who are going to fall off, whether they were ever in the truth or never in the truth to begin with, and they rejected it. Right. Most High God has already chosen who's going to make it and who's not. So it's not a matter of should you be concerned about the wicked. The wicked are going to get their just deserts. Be concerned about yourself. We work out our salvation with fear and trembling. Get that for me real quick. We work out our salvation with fear and trembling. See, and this is definitely a message that blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, you should take a very sharp liking to. Because we need delivery out of the hands of the white man. The most just merciless creature on the planet. The most callous and psychopathic creature on the planet. He'll blame you, literally, for him destroying your people. Him planting guns in your neighborhood. Planting drugs in your neighborhood. Putting most of your men in prison. He'll criminalize everyday behavior. See, most of y'all think like, oh man, all them blacks and Hispanics in prison, they must be violent. No, most of them are there for non-violent offenses. Drug possession.
Just straight up innocence.
Or just straight up innocent and got railroaded into prison. But the reality is God told you not to do drugs. Not to engage in sorcery or pharmakia. So if the Most High God told you not to do it and you insist on doing it, then guess what? The Most High God's going to send somebody to put their foot in your ass.
Right.
And that's exactly what is happening. Go ahead and get it.
Philippians chapter 2, verse 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
This is Paul's letter to the church of Philippi. And see, one of the things that we're trying to communicate to our people is that you need to be working out your salvation with fear and trembling. See, and I understand a lot of people, they haven't internalized that there is no grading curve to this. They haven't internalized that there's going to come a point where you are going to be held accountable for the things done in your body. But that day is coming. And it's coming very soon. And most of our people are not aware of what they need to be doing in light of that impending judgment. Right? Brother, can you get me... Man, it's getting hard to see out here, man. Ooh. No. I want to be able to see. You can turn it off. Yeah, train my night vision a little bit. Can you get me 2nd Ezra 9 and 22? Because, see, like I keep telling people, man, Most High God ain't going to keep asking you forever. He's going to eventually send a cruel messenger, and you're going to receive your judgment. You got time for the Bible, sister? No? No time for the Bible? All right, that's fine. Keep going, sister. You got it.
2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 22. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect.
So eventually the Most High God is going to trim the tree that is Israel. And when he trims that tree, he's going to cast those unrighteous branches into a fire.
Hey, McCullough. My wallet is in the center console. Can you get my car or pay for my my parking? He's doing the car. All right. Yeah. Because the sun is down now.
But see, the reality is, most of our people, they think that they're going to be able to transgress God's laws forever with no penalty. That's why, again, I had to give that brother a stern warning. There's going to come a time where you being warned to get to work, to put your hand to the plow, and to dress the Most High God's vineyards, to tend to your duties as a watchman, the warnings are going to stop coming your way. And the Most High God is going to send a cruel messenger your way. Get me, I believe it's Sirach 2 and 24. They shall not be defended. Woe to the man. You know, I think his heart goeth 2 ways or something like that. It's 13. Okay, cool.
Sirach chapter 2, verse 13. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not. Therefore shall he not be defended.
Is there more than that?
Yeah.
Verse 14. Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways.
Y'all got time for the Bible tonight? Thou says, how you doing? Doing great, doing God's work. Trying to let blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians know that they God's chosen. Trying to let them know that, hey, calamity is coming to America. If you still call it God, God, and you don't know his real name, you're about to be in a very, very low state. Crying out for help where it ain't coming. Give me Isaiah 65, I believe it's starting 14. I swear, bro, I hate this goddamn kingdom, bro. Real, goddamn. Come on.
I hate this goddamn kingdom, man.
So Isaiah 65, verse 14. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit.
Actually, go up, I think, go up a verse. Let me see what yeah, give me 11 and on down.
Isaiah 65, verse 11. But ye are they that forsake the Lord, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that truth, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes. and did choose that wherein I delighted not.
See, that's what we're trying to tell our people. Most of our people, when we talk to them, man, they pretend like we don't exist. But then when they get caught up, they call themselves calling on God. Most of our people don't understand the Most High God knows those who serve him and those who don't. He's more than aware. That's why it's pathetic when we see our people, man, walking around thinking that they're too good for the scriptures. Not understanding eventually judgment is coming your way. And you're going to cry out to God, and the Most High God is going to mock and laugh at you. Keep going, brother.
Verse 13. Therefore thus saith the Lord God, Behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit.
So you're going to cry out to God, and the Most High God is going to let you perish in your peril. Again, man, it's not personal, man. This is biblical. It's business. And we're crying out to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and you scattered Israelite diaspora, right? If you of the Semang people, the Ada people, the Mata, the Amishi, the Ainu, the Joma, the City people, the Dalits, the Kikuyu, the Limba, the Ashanti, hell, the Selkuk people, you know what I'm saying? The so-called natives of Eastern Europe, the Samoyeds. There's a good chance you might be an Israelite. But see, most of y'all ain't going to listen to this word until judgment takes hold of the earth. That's why to those of y'all who don't want this word, man, we ain't got nothing for you. Get ready for judgment. But to those of y'all who have an ear to hear, come get this word while you can. Give me Amos 8. We're going to get the famine of the word real quick. See, and I don't know if he trying to get a tow truck or some shit, because he called on a bunch of cars. He walked by everybody's car and he was recording these shit. And then he walked down that way. See, I don't understand what the fuck going on, man. But our people have to understand, man, you ain't going to have the opportunity to learn at the mouth of the prophets constantly in the days going forward. This is going to become more and more infrequent. And eventually, we ain't going to be out here at all. So I'm going to tell you, if you live in D.C. right now, you probably can't be on the corner doing this safely. There is a good chance that if you get too close to any federal building or federal property, they try to take your ass to jail. If you look too brown, too Hispanic, hey man, ICE is riding around, you might just be carted off and never seen again. The days are coming, man, where we're not going to be able to freely preach this word. It's going to be the famine of the word, and it's going to be a wrap. It's going to be the time of which that has been prophesied from the beginning, the time of Jacob's trouble. Go ahead and get it.
It's Amos chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord God, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor of thirst for water, but of hearing the word of the Lord. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it.
Straight to the point. When everything go left out here, man, y'all going to be looking for answers from the men of the Lord, and we are not going to be out here. We're not going to be out here to let you know who your God is and what his name is. Y'all got time for the Bible Kings? Thou said. But I say it all the time. If an ICE van pull up, all of a sudden, man, why this happening? To you black folks, man, when the cops pull up and they looking to do stop and frisk, they looking to detain niggas because they looking for a black man between the height of 5'1" and 6'8". All of a sudden, God, why? But you won't hearken unto God in his wisdom, so the Most High God is sending his sharpest sword. That's why even King David had to pray that the Most High God deliver him from the wicked, which is his sword. But our people don't get it until they're knee-deep in judgment, and then they want to cry out in agony, not understanding this is your lifeline right here. over and over again. But give me Jeremiah 30 and 7. And read down, read through 8.
Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him.
Give me Daniel 9 and 12, and then Daniel 12 and 1 through 2.
So there's going to come a day where the captivity of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the Most High God is going to plead our cause. And he's going to take away our oppressor. But before that day comes, it's going to get as bad as it's ever been out here. Just how bad has it been? Well, let's find out in Daniel 9 and 12. Because, you'll have the people from Israel today saying, oh, it's not the Pain Olympics. We're not comparing who's gone through more. Yeah, we are. Because what's been done unto the children of Israel has not been done unto any other nation on earth. That's why they don't want to compare Pain Olympics, because they ain't been through shit. Go ahead and get it.
Daniel chapter 9, verse 12. And he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven had not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem.
So, when you talk about the transatlantic slave trade, the sub-Saharan slave trade, the Silk Road slave trade, and all these lesser slave trades in between, right? Because most people don't understand that, like the Spanish, they were transporting our Mexican brothers to the Philippines and other areas in Malaysia. And then they were coming back. They did a triangle trade where they were taking the Israelites in those lands and bringing them over here, and vice versa. That's why if you don't know who the Negritos are in Malaysia, then you're lost. Because that's when I said the Matak, the Eta, the Samay, those are some of the tribes in Malaysia. The Manik, M-A-N-I-Q. I forget it's like Selkia or Selvia, some shit. It means slave. It's like in Thailand. But they're the Manik, M-A-N-I-Q. Right? But they were bringing those types of people over here to Mexico. And our Mexican brothers call them Chinos. The Chinese who were being brought to the Americas in the early 1900s, those were the Manchu who were falling out of power in mainland China. Why do you think they came over here and immediately started building railroads and living with niggas? See, again, man, this is the type of information that's not going to be out here. And the Most High God is going to pull his servants away, and y'all going to be out here stuck. Go ahead and get it, brother.
Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt.
See, again, that's the time of Jacob's trouble that's being spoken about. It's going to get so bad that Michael, the archangel of God, is going to have to stand up and plead the cause of the Israelites. That's why we keep trying to tell our people, listen while you can, because we're not going to be out here much longer. You got time for the Bible, brother? Not you, white man. I'm talking about him. The white man ain't our brother. Ain't never been a brother. Asian man either. Silk Road slave trade. Look it up. How about them Zhang Xi that y'all got in China? The Sang Chi, right? Or the New B, as y'all call them, the slaves. The Kun Lun. I'm going to have to look up Vietnam. Oh, yeah. We everywhere. We everywhere under the sun. See, we're the progenitors of culture all over the earth. That's why everybody want to be like us. But yet, they can never be us. See, and again, man, that's why I proudly say, hey, man, once one of these days, the white man going into slavery, and your kid's going to go with you.
I just kind of asked. I had a homeboy back in the day that he acted like a nigga.
Hey, man, a lot of Asians, man, we scattered everywhere. In Korea, the Kadara people, look up Kadara, K-A-D-A-R-A, Kadara. Why y'all think Kim Jong-un loved Dennis Rodman so much? Y'all thought he just loved black people, loved NBA players? But if that's the case, why he only want Dennis Rodman? Nah, that's bullshit. Hold up. Kadara.
Spelled it wrong.
Nah, you got it. And I'm going to tell you, when you look up these terms, nah. Hold up. Your phone is real sensitive, bro. Yeah, it's super sensitive, man. There we go. So I've had it come up as Kudara and Kadar, right? K-U-D-R-A or K-U-D-A-R-A. Kudara refers to immigrants and descendants of the ancient Korean kingdom of the Baekje or Baekje. I can't say that shit, bro. But it's the same people who migrated to Japan, right? Some of those people are Israelites, right? You have to understand all these different people groups on the planet. There's been a lot of moving around. That's why we try to tell our people who are predominantly black, Hispanic, and Native Indian that they're the children of God, but we're scattered to all nations under heaven. That's why you be having people in all these countries that resonate with American culture so much. Because the Israelites are over there, and they're following the trends of blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians who are over here. Get me their spirit beareth witness. Right? Because it's important, man. This message is it. The gospel has to be preached to the whole earth. And then the end is going to come. I saw a damn video from the Philippines of some brothers in the Philippines preaching Yahweh Shai. It looked kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Like some lanky people with glasses on, speaking in their language. But at the same time, though, you understand when they say Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. You got time for the Bible, brother?
God bless you.
All right, God bless you, brother. Be safe, man. Because Lord knows there's a lot of things out here going on. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Romans 8, verse 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God.
So their spirit beareth witness. That's why sometimes you'll have people who stop to listen to the word. I feel guilty. There was a brother who was over here a while back, and he was from the Hmong people. Can you look them up? It's H-M-O-N-G. H-M-O-N-G. Hmong. The Hmong people are an indigenous group from East and Southeast Asia, right? Now, when you look at how they're as a matter of fact, they're in Vietnam. You see what I'm saying? And he was sitting here, and I should have known he might have been a Jake because this nigga was eating hot Cheetos in front of me, licking his fingers and shit, being disrespectful. That's the type of shit that Jake do. But it didn't, you know what I'm saying? It didn't occur to me. When he said Hmong, I was like, man, look that up. Because that's one of them groups that are highly discriminated against. Look up Hmong slavery. That's one of the easiest ways to find out who somebody is in a given region. Look at the slave trade that they went through. And you'll see all the hallmarks of the curses of Deuteronomy 28. Hmong people have faced historical instances of forced labor, persecution, and displacement. with historical accounts suggesting some were forced into slavery by Chinese forces in the past. In contemporary context, issues of modern slavery, primarily in the form of forced marriage and labor exploitation, continue to affect some among women and girls in Southeast Asia. That's why knowing all these different terms helps. How you doing, brother? Got time for the Bible today?
I'm listening to it right now.
Okay, well, before you go, brother, what tribe do you go back to in the Bible? Do you know? What tribe do you go back to in the Bible? Are you Mexican? You're from the tribe of Issachar. Issachar means he who is hired. Who are the hardest working people on the planet, brother? Mexican people, hands down. God bless you, brother. You an Israelite, man. Keep the laws of God. We all need to keep the law. Keep the Sabbath.
Amen.
If you're an Israelite. Now, if you ain't an Israelite, just enjoy because you're going into slavery. See, he said amen. That means so be it. And you know what? Amen to that. So be it. See, again, give me all of creation groaning. Everybody is waiting for the emergence of the sons of God to extend salvation to the earth. I'm not going to sit here and try to say that the heathen don't get a form of salvation, but you're not getting the same salvation that the Israelites are getting. Y'all are waiting on us to rise up to be a healing to you nation. You got it?
Oh, praise.
Romans chapter 8, verse 22. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. And not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit, even ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit the redemption of our body.
So even God's chosen, those who are righteous, we are patiently waiting and groaning within ourselves at this wicked kingdom. Sister, you got time for the Bible today? Got time to talk with your brothers? You got time to walk with that old white man? I see that. The enemy of your God, Psalms 83, the Edomites. And again, you with the white man, and he ain't got no motion no more. He ain't got nothing to give you. You bed winching for free now. Yeah, he almost threw his hip out of place trying to turn around and look at us. Meanwhile, that's what you settled for, sister. Ought to be ashamed of yourself. Ought to be ashamed. For real, nigga almost fell, and I ain't gonna lie, if you had fell, I would have roasted your ass for the next hour. For real. I would have made you hit your life alert button and shit. You would have said, I have fallen and I must get up. I gotta get away from this nigga. Help. For help.
Help me.
Oh, shit. You ought to be ashamed, sister. And again, the Bible says that the head of the woman is the man. So you chose a white man of all the men on the planet to be your head, sister? Really? The least man on the planet? And go ahead.
He got money. He ain't got shit else.
Man, if you walking on the river walk, you ain't got no money. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because ain't shit around here. You walking next to one of the most polluted waterways in San Antonio. You ain't got no money. Like, let's call a spade a spade. Having money in America is no longer making $200,000 a year. That is not having money. You need to be a multi-millionaire to have money here in America. So if you're walking around the Riverwalk, chances are you just like the rest of us. Your ass is the working poor. You a couple of calamities away from being like all these niggas you see when you come into the city. We'll work for food, anything else. I got you on? Good come. You know what I'm saying? But y'all, we about to wrap it up. You got any scriptures you want to bring out? How about you, brother? No? All praises. So we gonna get Revelations 21. We gonna start at the top. Because we need to show what does it mean for the kingdom of heaven to arrive. As a matter of fact, before you get that, give me Amos 9. I forgot. Because we need to show that the least grain shall not fall upon the earth. Amos 9, yes sir. Because as hard as everything is going to get out here for the elect of God to survive, and as many of our people are going to perish, the Most High God made a promise to Abraham. He promised that all of his seed would be saved and that they would inherit the promises. See, and that's why it's so hard for some people to understand the scriptures, because they're thinking that they only have one life, and once that life is over, it's a wrap. Not understanding, you come back life after life. That's why I don't want to hear it wasn't me who enslaved your people. Oh, it was you. And you going into slavery for it. All you white devils going into slavery. And it can't happen soon enough. Get me Amos 9 and start at 9. As a matter of fact, start at 8.
Yeah,
Amos chapter 9, verse 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord God are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted and a sieve. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth.
So the least grain, remember that least in the kingdom of heaven that we read in Matthew 5? See, again, that's why you got to understand what's in the Old Testament before you start talking about reading Christ's words. Because all Christ pulled from was the Old Testament. There was no New Testament during his time. When he stood up in the synagogue in Luke 4, he read from, as a matter of fact, get that for me real quick. Yeah, when Christ stood up in the synagogue, he read from the prophet Isaiah. See, and that's why, again, it's important to understand what's in the Old Testament. Now I'm going there with you. You got to understand what's going on in the Old Testament, because if you don't know what's going on in the Old Testament, I'm going to tell you, you're going to be lost when you read the words of the prophets. Start at 17.
As a matter of fact, start at 16. Slaughter.
Luke chapter 4, verse 16. And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up. And as his custom was, he went into the synagogue and the Sabbath day, and stood up for to read. And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah. And when he had opened the book, he found the place where it was written, The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable year of the Lord.
Now keep on.
And he closed the book, and he gave it again to the minister, and sat down. And the eyes of all them that were in the synagogue were fastened on him. And he began to say unto them, This day is the scripture fulfilled in your ears.
So even the Messiah pulled from the Old Testament. So why are people telling you that the Old Testament is done away with, you don't got to read it? When the Messiah saw it as good enough for him to read. If it's good enough for Christ, it ain't good enough for us. That's why I told that brother Yaquab, look, man, your pastor, he don't know the first thing about what's in this book. Most of you blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, you go and sit in a church every Sunday, if you go to church at all, and that pastor only knows enough to beg for money.
You don't know shit about the Bible.
God. You know what I'm saying? Your pastor don't know anything, and you could demonstrate that with Genesis 1:1. But see, unfortunately, our people don't say the magic 2 words that would basically have your pastor fumbling and bumbling, and that's proven. You just let him run his mouth and then beg for money, and then you give it to him. Like a damn dummy. Where if you had read the Old Testament, you would know that you can only give tithe at the temple. Y'all got time for the Bible today? Which one?
That's gonna be like, you want me to prove it, you got to sow a seed. of
For real.
$100.
You got to sow a seed. I said 2,000, sister, not $1,200. I said it before. I wish a motherfucker would, boy. Turn down $1,200 talking about you saying 2,000. I wish a nigga would, boy. But that's what these pastors do, because our people don't read the Bible. They tell you don't have to keep the laws of God, when God said it through his son explicitly that you need to keep the law. Whether you go to Matthew 23, Matthew 5, it's all throughout the New Testament. Oh, give me Luke 6:46 real quick. Now, we're going to keep going. But Yahushua said it best. He said, hey, man, why call you me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? Why you keep talking about how much you love me and how much you'll do for me, but you won't listen to the least of the things I tell you to do?
Yes, sir.
Luke chapter 6, verse 46. And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say?
We ain't making it up. Even Christ got frustrated with his people, following behind him, swearing they'd do anything for him, but every time they were told to keep the laws of God, they had an excuse. And see, we all know what that's like here in the modern day. For you women, if you got a man who following behind you, and he refused to do anything for you, he refuses to say, if y'all on a date, he don't want to pay for nothing, he don't want to drive you nowhere, he don't want to be kind to you, he don't even want to raise his kids. It's like, man, this man don't love me. For you men out here, if you got a woman, she always got her hand out, she don't do nothing else but beg for money. This woman don't love me. Well, then Christ said the same thing. Why call you me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say?
What have you done for me lately?
Yeah, what have you done for me lately? Not a damn thing. See, and again, if your pastor preached the word like this, most of y'all would empty out the church at light speed. Because y'all used to hug him hard Jesus. He don't require you to do a damn thing. All you got to do is sit there, flick him a few coins, and you can go to the strip club. You can eat as much pork as you want. You can smoke blunts. You can fuck the women in the church. You ain't got to do nothing that God require you to do. And that's going to be the death of many of y'all. Loving your idol. Read Wisdom of Solomon 14 for those of y'all who don't believe white Jesus is an idol. There has been a similitude of Christ given to you that is an idol. Similitude meaning something like the original. That's why you're supposed to believe on the Messiah as the scriptures have said. And out of your belly shall flow rivers of living water. Out of your mind shall come rivers of knowledge. And that's why most of our people are dumb as a rock. Because they don't believe on the Messiah as the scriptures say. But let's get back to Amos 9 real quick.
Amos chapter 9, verse 10. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say, the evil shall not overtake, nor prevent us.
See, we're not making it up. Those of y'all saying that God love everybody, God just told you through Amos 9 that the sinners of his people shall die by the sword. Most of y'all don't realize just how bad it's about to get around here. Most of y'all don't realize this coming spring, y'all gonna realize how much food there ain't here in America. The cracks are starting to show in this kingdom. Hell, the EU just imposed a trade embargo on America, and those are America's diehard allies. Venezuela is now joined with Colombia to wage war against America if they make any further acts of aggression against Venezuela. And China and Russia are right there to help.
So you said it's getting worse, and they don't. It's gonna get worse. Well, I don't know the exact saying. So you said saying it was gonna get worse. Isn't there like a saying where it's like when the water's rising or something, you don't really realize it, or some shit like that? Tide, or am I tripping?
No, I could say something like it.
What the brother is saying is, essentially, it's happening so gradually that most of you don't notice it. You're like a frog in a pot that's slowly being brought to a boil. You don't even have enough sense to hop out and save yourself. You're going to sit there and perish because of your ignorance. And that's what we're trying to tell blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians. Your God is bidding you to repentance. And most of you couldn't be bothered. Give me Jeremiah 44 and 4. 4444. 444. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite pericopes of scripture to read. Most High God sends the prophets all the day long, and all the day long our people ignore them, and then they cry out to God in anguish when the Most High God send a boot for their neck.
Yes, sir.
Jeremiah chapter 44, verse 4. Howbeit I sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, rising early, and sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate.
Most High God literally telling you to stop doing the shit that he hates. And most of y'all can't be bothered. And then got the nerve to cry out to God while you doing the shit that God told you to stop doing. and thinking that God ain't serious. That's why we try to tell our people, man, the Most High God is very serious. You might want to ask them people in them ICE detention centers right now if God is serious. How about asking them people up in Washington and Oregon in them floods if God is serious? Or how about them people in Chicago and New York who are in those damn -20 temperatures about a week ago? Most High God can send chilling temperatures your way to deliver judgment. That's why we're telling blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, keep God's commandments. Keep the Sabbath. Stop celebrating things like Dia de los Muertos.
Right.
Stop keeping these pagan holidays. Don't celebrate Christmas. I know most of you already planned it. Read Jeremiah chapter 10, and it'll show you that Christmas is in the Bible, and God told you expressly and explicitly not to celebrate it. But most of you are going to make excuses the same way you did to celebrate Thanksgiving.
Spending they last.
Spending your last.
Shit they don't even really have. Probably putting it on credit.
How you doing, man? Got time for the Bible? See, again, walked up mean mugging. I don't know what that's about. But when I show up, blacks, Hispanics unite like the Avengers and help. That's why the white man boot stay in your ass. Like that. It stay on your neck. Because when you have an opportunity to learn better, you always take the opportunity to do worse. And if you think you go outbox God in terms of doing wickedness and him not requiting you for it, you are gravely mistaken. Keep going, brother.
Around here playing.
Verse 5. But they hearken not, nor incline their ear to turn from their wickedness,
Oh,
to
man.
burn no incense unto other gods. Wherefore my fury and my anger was poured forth, and was kindled in the cities of Judah, and in the streets of Jerusalem, and they were wasted and desolate, as at this day.
As at this day. To this day.
To this day.
Deontay Wilder tried to tell y'all, to this day. We in slavery to this day because we won't keep God's commandments. We won't repent and return back to our God and separate from the ways of our oppressors.
Right.
See, again, I keep saying it, man. Eventually, you ain't going to have no food out here. And when there ain't no food, you're going to see a side of the white man that you thought he left back in the cave. He going to turn into Fred Flintstone on that ass.
That delectable Negro on that.
For real, y'all might want to read the book Delectable Negro by Vincent Woodard, where he chronicles the history of homoerotic cannibalism, where the white man was literally eating blacks and Hispanics. They wrote it down.
I remember how good you tasted. It was coming.
They literally wrote it down. But our people don't have enough sense to read it. Not only do our people not have enough sense to read it, some of our people lack enough sense to marry them, even though they used to eat your people. But see, as America slides closer and closer to the abyss, you're going to see the white man revert back to what he actually is. And that's a brute, a beast. Look up the account of Aluda Equiano, where he talks about the slave masters on those slave ships feeding the slaves the body parts of their comrades that they slaughtered. Look up the Arrogante, the Portuguese slave ship where they were feeding their slaves body parts of other slaves they slaughtered. But see, y'all will walk by and go, man, that nigger's angry and crazy. But you won't look any of this stuff up. And the Bible says oppression maketh a wise man mad. That's why most of you don't feel angry at all, because you're dumb as hell.
Right.
Give me that in Ecclesiastes 7:7.
We was about to slide up out of here, man. Fuck that.
All these damn hard-headed ass Israelites walking around. I'm raining on that parade. The hell with that. Because this is the last damn boat that's pulling in. Most of y'all gonna be stuck once the men of the Lord get pulled off these corners.
Right.
Who gonna be telling you about all the cannibalism that's happened here in America and pointing you to sources so you can actually read about it?
Ecclesiastes 7. Verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart.
How you doing, King?
How y'all?
Doing all right. You know you're an Israelite? Okay, what you supposed to be doing, Israelite man? Keep the commandments. See, again, man, oppression maketh the wise man mad, but most of our people don't do their due diligence to learn about the oppression. They don't understand what dire circumstances they're actually in. I understand you probably just got off work and want to get home, but don't you want to know how to appease God? Everybody say God is important until it requires time in order to learn about it. Then all of a sudden, well, I had something planned. I got to go. And that's why the Most High God do the same thing to you when you call upon him. You go, hey, man, I got plans. I got stuff to do. If you don't got time for him, how's he going to separate time for you?
Right.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Indians, I'm talking to you. If your father's one of those groups, I'm talking to you. You should be dedicating every moment of your time to the Most High God right now, in light of all the things coming upon the earth. But most of our people don't think it's serious. Give me Proverbs 1 and 21. We always get it. We always get it. And our people never listen, man. Wisdom crieth in the chief places of concourse. She crieth in the streets. How long, ye simple ones? How long are you not going to listen to wisdom? How long?
Proverbs chapter 1, verse 21. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying, How long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge.
Fools hate knowledge. Fools. That's why I'm not confused when the majority of our people walk by, because they're fools. Again, I say it all the time. Most of our people haven't read a book since high school when they were forced to read.
Tell them not to eat pork because it's a law. Oh, but it tastes so good. That's some foolish shit to say.
Yeah, you tell a nigga that you can't eat pork according to the Bible, he all of a sudden pretend like the only food item on the planet is a damn pig. He forget about everything else he can eat. Well, why can't I eat bacon? Because God said you can't. It's that simple.
Beef
Yeah, and you got all types of substitutes that taste the damn same. And you don't want none of them. You want what God told you couldn't have. And because you insist on doing what God told you couldn't do, Most High God gonna punish you for it. Keep going, brother.
Verse 23. Turn, you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called, and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind. When distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me.
That's all we need. That's all we need right there. Shalom, King. See, again, man, our people, they going to see God when they in their problems. When they see that calamity coming, they going to be like, oh, God, help me. And the Most High God going to go, nah, this is the good part. This is where you get your comeuppance. This is the good part.
Talking about they want what they God told them not to have. That goes back to the forbidden apple.
Yeah, man, everybody talk about Adam and Eve eating a damn apple simply because God told them they couldn't have it, they wanted it. And even as wrong as that is, our people still don't even internalize the lesson behind it. Just do what God told you to do.
Needed or wanted wisdom. She flocked to it anyways.
And not to mention, our people never stop and think. If our people could literally see God right there and talk to him, if it was just a fruit or an apple, they couldn't ask for another one on another tree. Hey, God, could you give me some fruit that tastes just like that one on another tree so I don't have to transgress your laws? Our people don't even stop and think how stupid it is what they believe and how they don't even believe that shit right, so they don't internalize the moral from it. Absolute madness, man. But y'all, we gonna go ahead and get that Revelations 21 real quick. We gonna read down a little bit from the top, and we gonna get Revelations 22 and 14. We gonna slide up out of here, man. Because as the watchmen of the Most High God, we did our job. And every Saturday, we gonna do our job until we're taking off these streets. So I'm gonna tell you, the one thing that you ain't gonna say about me, if I have any say in it, and I pray the Most High God don't sift me from his presence, but if I had any say, I will die doing this. I will die doing my job rather than transgress God's laws and be a damn bitch nigga and run back in the house. Some of you brothers getting scared now that it's looking kind of precarious out here. Now all of a sudden you want to say that salvation is for everybody. Salvation is only for the Israelites. And the white man and woman is going into slavery, and it cannot happen soon enough.
Revelation chapter 21, verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he would dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them, and be their God. And God shall wipe away all their tears. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
That New Jerusalem are the Israelites coming down out of heaven in those new glorified bodies. Those new tabernacles that Paul speaks about in 1 Corinthians 15. And Yahushua told you about when he said, my Father hath many mansions. If it were not so, I would not have told you. We're about to be upgraded as a people. And we're going to have all of our sorrows and tears wiped away by the Most High God himself. You lesser nations, you heathen, your tears will be wiped away after you pay your balance. You pay your tithe, or your I don't want to say your tithe, your tab. When you pay your tab, then yeah, you're going to be mended up, restored, and sent back home. But you ain't going to have the same rights and privileges as the Israelites. That's bad. But keep going, brother.
Verse 5. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful. And he said unto me, It is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son. But the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
And that's why we're trying to tell our people to repent. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. That's why you are getting warning after warning on every other corner in these cities. Because the time of the judgment, the second judgment, is coming. Most of you aren't even going to survive the first one. Because when this place is being bombarded by its enemies, you're going to need God to survive that. Hell, and I'm talking, shit, what am I talking about? That is the second death. Shit. Yeah, it's going to be just the invasion of America and the upheaval and the race wars and famines and all the other shit. All that stuff is taking place. It's ramping up now. Most of our people don't understand, man. You about to be stepping over dead bodies out here. You're going to be wishing you could die, man. Some of y'all going to get denied death when that's the only escape that you got. But brother, let's get Revelation 22 and 14 through 15.
Revelations chapter 22, verse 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter through the gates into the city. For without are dogs, and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie.
And with that, y'all, I would like to say, call Halal Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
That's all praises be unto Yahweh in the name of his son Yahweh Shai. Kwam Yasharala
Kwam Yasharala.
and Mawaf Lababal. Yeah, bud. Shalom, y'all.